Hello. Today we're checking out the final Lobby Legends of the year, so the big tournaments, top 8, so the best players, and yeah, that's it. Hope you will enjoy it. Now the rules for this tournament hopefully will become clear in a second. Now I'm a little bit sad to see that 12,000 or 15,000 views. This was like the big 5-hour stream of Lobby Legends on YouTube, so it seems like the hype for it kind of wore down, but still should be exciting to watch. Now because this was streamed a couple days ago, I can just rewatch it and skip all the boring parts, which is a big perk. So we don't have to, waste time here. But Pocky is also casting it, which is super hype. So I want to see how he does. I heard a lot of good things about it. And
greetings and well met, everyone.
Yeah, let me,
it is my pleasure to.
Let me take care of a couple of things real quick. While they're gonna introduce Lobby Legends, and then we can jump into the first game. And hey, Rhea and Rodrigue, I'm doing okay, man. How are you doing?
Bring you all in for the final day of Lobby Legends Winter Veil, the final day of competitive battlegrounds for the year, which means the hype, the tension, the nerves.
Let me just tweet real quick.
I am high for all of our players, but hopefully here on the casting desk we're feeling a little bit more chill, if still very excited to get into the action with Pocky once again joining me today. How are you feeling about today after yesterday's fantastic games?
Really good. I mean, they really primed me up. I'm expecting great things. I was thinking about our fantasy teams and the players left in, and I was like thinking about like every player played so well yesterday. And now they're all matched up against each other. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna be super fun to watch, and I know the players are excited too.
Basically, for those of you who don't know the system, well, they're showing it here. Yesterday or the day before this stream, the top 16 competed, and there are 8 players advancing now today that are the finals, and this is a check format, so you basically gotta reach 20 points. The points are also explained here. I'll just show them real quick. This is how the point structure works. If you get to 20 points, all you need is a first place and you win. So this leads to a lot of catch-up mechanics. So even if you're last in points, we've seen people make huge comebacks and still win. So this will be pretty hype. It's always great watching. Clearly it didn't go too long. I mean, 4 hours and a half, I think that's about average. I want to see if they show the players as well. Do they not? Oh, they do. Okay. So these are the 8 players. I'll have to hide my camera. Also, I need to go to this scene instead. Okay, I don't block it. But basically, Penguin Sun we saw in a couple Lobby Legends already as well. I've not seen Shaxi before. Max is a Lobby Legends winner. He won one of the previous seasons. Vigo I've not seen either. Zorgo, my boy, made it to the finals. I'll definitely be rooting for him. Good to see him here. IG Sword we've seen as well. Zanyang I don't think we've seen, or at least I don't remember. And Sarah also not seen. He's all suited up. He's looking pretty fancy. Now let's go into game 1.
I'd be surprised if we don't see.
Now, I'm gonna let the casters do some casting whenever I want to say something. I can mute, but generally speaking, they do a pretty good job, especially if Pocky is on here. He should, do a good job, probably a better job casting than I will. Now, I'm just looking forward to non-Murloc lobbies. I don't know what tribes are in this lobby, but I think the Murloc lobbies are gonna be pretty monotone, which is, what the meta has all been about. But I'm staying hopeful.
Vigo's picked up
the new hero.
Of.
We actually see someone picking a new hero. I heard a lot of bad things about it. I also haven't been able to try it myself yet. But I guess Zanyang is going to show us how it's done.
Sword on the Bran. Shaxi took that confusing cookie skin. It's back, but now we know what it is. Some interesting heroes. A lot of heroes that are very capable or even incentivized to go 3-on-3.
And so before we even know what the minion types are, I guess it's an interesting point to ask. With Bran having been picked here, does that guarantee us that Murlocs are in the lobby? Would you ever pick it without them being available as a minion type?
Oh, without perks?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously...
Wait. Did Sarah play without perks? If so, I'm definitely rooting for him as well. And that makes it even more sick that he's wearing a suit.
Murlocs in, but there are a lot of setups where Bran can be an effective card, and really what you consider is how many battle cries and how many valuable battle cries are on tier 1. So Is
I'll
Alley
read,
Cat available? Is Shell Collector available?
Real quick.
Is Swabby available? Those units, you know, can still get you that brand very early and potentially set up triples or a lot of econ to advance your game plan in the mid game.
Ooh, very nice couple of shops here for swords.
Oh, for Brand, that's sick. It seems like a non-Murloc lobby as well. So
more battle cries and that econ available.
Oh yeah.
It looks like our only 2 players staying down on tier 1 are going to be Vigo, obviously wanting to get that Bear of Hero Power in, and Sword again wanting to collect those battle cries on tier 1.
Now I have the perk that I can fast forward in turns like these because there's not too much happening. That's indeed a very confusing cookie skin. It is a Murloc lobby, okay. A little bit sad, but wait, did their brand freeze that? They did, okay, luckily. But we see a lot of people level. The only people staying down is the Bran and the Barrow, which kind of makes sense. I wonder if they're all going to go free and free. I mean, Elise probably will. Cookie probably will. I think we'll see a lot of power levels. I think Varden is likely to power level. He's thinking about it.
Path, and we see our first player to go to tier 3
is
okay. Zorgo on the Gale Wing. Shaxi close behind.
Oh, Gale Wing? Yeah. Gale Wing always goes free and free as well. So, seems like... Oh wait, actually it's not them. There's 3 people that power leveled. So the Warden ended up staying. Same with the Finley. We actually don't know what the Finley picked as a hero power yet. Good. Now the quest turn.
Target for that buff.
I'm gonna hide my camera so I don't block it.
Here. Sarah has a triple lined up on the Varden, which is actually a Finley. So we have a double Varden lobby here.
Quite nice to get the combo of Trigger Death Rattles plus Ritual Dagger, but I don't think any real way to get that moving very quickly right now. So maybe just the relatively...
Oh, it's double Varden. Does Finny pick the Varden hero power? We already have Varden in the lobby. They got a triple Swabby into a 4. Okay.
Sarah, as my bandwagon pick.
Oh yeah, bandwagons. I almost forgot. All right.
I know, I gotta be on point this time. There's people counting on me. Doesn't hit the best triple off of it, but that discount...
Also, 0-0. Why do you say he didn't have the chance to choose between the hero 4 champs as you do? Because I also play without perks.
Really quickly, getting some maybe premium pairs, triples even.
Bear on arm,
could be a big deal.
Yo, MarkMcKz, what's up?
Is Shaxi picking up the pirates here
okay.
to make this?
I know I haven't streamed or played BGs in a while, but I also don't know how this stream is gonna do because it's been so long. But I just want to check out Lobby Legends to see what the state of the game is like, what the top players are doing right now, and how lobbies feel. But I'll probably be live again sometime this week. Just to play some games and have a feeling for it myself. But we're gonna take notes here and see what it's like. But it seems like early on, people are still playing roughly the same, still tripling kind of early for tempo. Quests, I mean, they didn't really change much, right? The Elise here went straight to 4 though, which is ballsy. And yeah, this dude has Brown Online, also got a triple into Swabby. Man, all these econ triples are gonna be nuts.
In the triple already, that Bran on the board.
Hey Jacob, good morning.
He's gonna survive, which means Zoko's gonna take...
I mean, I've not been gone. I've been working on videos for the second channel, so if you want to know what I've been doing, yeah, the second channel is where all of my effort went. Until the game is gonna shake up again. We need a new tribe or something, man. I need something to change. But yeah, Elise just went straight to tier 4. I can respect this a lot, wow. Penguin Sunny still on 34 health, not that low. And got 3 really good 4 jobs. Like tank is good tempo. This one is econ, or you know, just value in general, and then an Elise. It's not a bad on Elise. Can just roll now.
Beasts, I suppose, to stabilize on tab and tier 5 as well. I want to say it's going to be tricky for him to quickly stabilize here.
Yeah, and I think actually what we might see is because you do really want to stabilize here. You have a pretty strong setup. You have a lot of econ coming your way, especially with this Randall giving an extra unit, is a double buy and a hero power if the shop isn't too shabby.
Probably. Like Dekkster and probably double buy hero power. You could level, but it's a bit risky. Cookie just got quest on, and also I don't like this bartender. Is this a new bartender that we're getting? I'm not a big, massive fan of it. But hey. Barov pretty wide still. Bunch of one-shots. It's still on tier 1. Wow, okay, wait. Barov is still on tier 1 on 7 gold. Normally you have leveled by this point, so I guess he's been losing his bets. That's the main reason to stay down. No bets. Or just no triples in the shop. And Varden. Oh my god, that's disgusting. Holy.
He
just tripled.
Oh, Sarah's lined
Overseer,
up that triple.
That's so sick.
You can take it now. With the Murloc.
And I'm feeling good about my bandwagon pick. Like I said, Varden is able to set up these higher tier triples, get some solid pairs in it.
Or just take a 6. You probably want the 6 for Firebat. The main issue is that Firebat is very bad, right? You pick Firebat in these kind of lobbies or in this meta, you're just getting steamrolled anyway. Yo, good morning, Whiskey folks. So I wonder if he's just gonna push 5, try and get Brand himself. I guess on 6 you could also go Menagerie, you could hit the T guy, you could hit the Taunt guy, but again, all of it is not really relevant when you have IG Sword with an early Brand already, and you know what the end game is gonna look like. Unless, I mean, to be fair, you don't need to push for first, right? With how the check system works, you just need to get to 20 points. Once you have 20 points, you need a first. Right now, you can just play for consistency, get your top freeze, get your 20 points, and then take the risky alliance. So, maybe the lobbies aren't going to be as toxic as I expected.
No need to expend any gold.
But he does nothing.
You're able to use that gold to find those tech pieces to play around some of those units like Murlocs that you'll be facing later on in the game.
Dog does have smoking. Oh, sorry. Sarah does have smoking gun, though, I believe, as his quest. Did that ever dissuade you from going for demons and instead trying to find the divine shields of mechs?
Medallion?
It could be.
So Brand just went to 4. It's not that strong, honestly. Yeah, it's just gonna be a tie here. I think everyone is just kind of rushing to 5. It seems. Or like rushing to go to 5.
If you hit something like an Omega Buster, that is a very strong out.
Yep, takes a 6 indeed.
And so here we will see this early 6 drop on turn 7.
Ooh, that's bad.
And those are not the directional cards.
Now when this happens, it's neither tempo, neither scaling, it's just nothing. Greasebot, this lobby, I mean, you could pivot Max, I suppose, but it seems really slow. Genie, I think, is the best pick here, because at least this gives you some econ. It's a taunt, you know? It has some applications, or more than the others. Zap usually is not going to be valuable right now. So I'd expect Genie here, but then you still have the Golden Overseer, right? Like in one turn you stabilize, you just buy some big things from the shop and you should be fine. And you're on tier 5 on full health, so... And you have the Varden here power, so you are on tier 5 early, you can multiply the 5 drops that you hit, so... Okay, we're rid of the progression bar. What is a progression bar? I mean this one on the bottom? No, I just had to move my mouse then.
Like you said, that mech direction is good, but
yeah,
it does rely on you hitting something. And what we see
oh my god, how this dude went 4 and 4, right? They found a golden Randall, finished quest, tripled into Teotar, and wait, what is this lobby? Wait. So I have the perk here of pausing because this is, you know, not live, but they have double tank to stabilize. They have golden. That 4 drop to get a shitload of money. How do you get that? You don't even have Varden here power. But they tripled into a 6 as well. Got Teotar, so they're just going to play some sort of menagerie. And they have a Cyclo in the shop, which is an amazing elemental to buff. And they get quest done. And it's only 9 gold here. It's not even 10 gold yet. This is turn 7. This is actually insane. Actually ridiculous.
They force them to go a certain direction. Speaking of completing,
and then yeah, this guy has I don't know why you have a golden Tony. I don't know how that happens, why that happens, but they have a golden Tony. Yeah, wait, how does that happen? Golden Tony. You just had to find 3 Tonys, right? The issue is that he's on tier 4. How do you wait? It's turn 7. You had double the evolve guy. So from both of them you found a Tony. And then where does the third Tony come from? And then that Tony tripled into Hogger. Oh, wait, I see it. But he's Varden, so you can evolve into Tony, keep it frozen for a turn, and the turn after is going to always guarantee duplicate the Tony. So you're going to have multiple Tonys in the shop. Oh, wow, dude. What an opener. Jesus
Gonna
Christ.
complete that quest very early, and that's gonna be
for
Savjz. So we might see some wackiness going on, and he has a Theatar very early.
Man, I'm confused.
We'll see Max 7 key. Oh no! I guess it couldn't proc. It couldn't proc, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I panicked because it's just instinctual reaction for me. Anytime you see that Hogger get hit with that Tony down, it is unfortunate, but we could see some very early APM shenanigans.
This Barof is not doing well. They stayed on one extra long than they had to. They're also in tier 4 now, but yeah, they have a very weak board. They got like they lost their bet again. They haven't won many bets. They got Nomi dazzling. Well, like no board, no tempo. But it seems like they scaled a little bit already. Voidlord is pretty good. I want to see the other players though.
More time.
This is just a classic Nomi.
Yeah, it does.
Zergo with the Murlocs. Oh, dude, you see what he tripled into. So Zergo with the Murlocs tripled into a 6. Mist has to play a grease spot here. Very awkward. Has a Leroy though. Has a pair on this. They're playing with Sinstone. I mean, that's obviously really good, especially if you triple that. But yeah, he gave up on it. Interesting spot. Also has 2 mackerels, so maybe he might just be going for the mackerel line now. Yeah, it's hard to force Murlocs when you know there's a brand in the lobby that is already doing better. But obviously it's still pretty relevant at this stage. But in the end, you can just poison them, have 2 big mackerels. And, okay, if they golden the Hogger here...
And unfortunately with the Divine Shields on the mackerels...
Oh, they're gonna guarantee golden the Hogger. Oh no, yeah.
Likely to... not end super well.
Damn.
Zorgo getting some nice stat posts on the mackerels.
Oh, but he's dead!
And yeah, that
they got the golden Hogger, but they died, yeah. Damn. Zorgo with the first kill onto Max, who had a really interesting start. Promising board. But yeah, double mackerel here is pretty disgusting. Finds a lookout, which, you know, with Sinstone again, extra value. Oh, we see another... Wait, Sarah also has Hoggers. Sarah is the person that tripled into the Genie, right? Yeah, this is the guy who tripled into early Genie. We thought was screwed. But tripled another card into Firebat. Now sold the Firebat even though you have a golden Overseer. That's what I mean with the meta right now. You have a golden Overseer with Firebat. No good enough. Instead, they're going to go... Wait, I don't understand this line. Instead, they're... Oh, twice as nice. Okay, I do understand this line. They want to try and freeze this, so that way it's a very high likelihood of copying the Hogger here with hero power, and then they're infinite. Because right now they have 2 Hoggers. If they triple this, they still have a golden Hogger. You're not technically infinite. If he lives one more round, and he's on like most health in the lobby, Sarah. So if he lives, gets a copy onto Hogger, very likely, he's infinite. And now we see this hero. We haven't seen this player all game. Wait. With a reborn golden trickster, Lightfang, a random pirate, poison, reborn Murloc. Okay. Like that's what you like expect Scrappy Comps to look like, but you see APM players, you see what? Golden Theotar? You see golden Theotar apparently, that's possible. Dude, these comps are wild. We see another Theotar brand Lightfang on Cook. They were both playing with the Zer's quest. Holy man. These are very interesting boards, very cool boards, but we see someone who's probably going to be infinite. Yeah.
A Pip and a Mechano Tank utilizing the Elise and the brand to get some extra value out of those neutrals.
Yeah, he's not going to die, so he wins.
Quote-unquote weak turn here for Sarah as well before he starts really popping off. But
I guess they remove some good damage.
Clear off a bit of the damage here. Actually,
yeah, that was actually a good loss.
An ideal fight. They're only taking the tank as damage, and against Shaxy's board, you're pretty happy with that outcome. Still at 20, able to take a hit.
No one dead.
You know what's coming.
Copied to Hogger, now he's infinite, so we're basically gonna see Sarah here just APM his way to victory, as you do. Now the main issue is the animation time from the hero power. So His rolls are actually pretty slow because the animation has to go through the entire, freezing stuff. So it's a little bit screwed, but I don't know if he's playing on the home server either, or if he's gonna experience lag or not. I would assume so. No.
They called it overseer, really?
Another, again, there's poison, so this is beatable in the end if you attack properly and he can't find the pieces in time. But
that becomes next.
I was gonna skip this because, well, or is this fun to watch? Would you guys prefer watching all of this APM stuff, or?
And you just see those bonus stats when the ball of minions is
another Hogger.
More Hoggers, more ball of minions.
Ball of minions also pretty
Nothing's
good.
Gonna stop him. More gamblers. Sarah can't miss here. Keeping the tunnel blaster on
APM,
board.
okay.
Just to again play around those last.
Oh, double Peggy here. They were keeping the demon for a bit. I think because it's like extra ball value, extra ball stats. They played one Peggy, don't want to commit onto the other one, which makes sense. They're board locked, right? They were skilling some looters already instead. The main issue I think with APM players is I actually want to do a video on APM pirates because so many people make so many like basic mistakes on it. The animations are still loading, but the turn is over. Classic. But like most people would just dump everything and just go full pirates, but then again in this lobby that would lose you the game very likely. Because right now your pirates still don't have enough stats to value trade stuff with divine shields at this stage in the game. You would need like one more turn maybe. Oh wait, he's still going. Never mind, he's still going. Well, he tripled Peggy. He's still going. Okay, I'm
already
just gonna
finished for the other players. He hasn't even started. What?
Oh my god. What a beautiful levels. He ends on 0 gold.
Yeah, he actually ended on 0 gold. He did that ending perfectly. Just slapping the selfless quickly. Whereas the timer does not exist when you're playing APM pirates. You can just go infinitely. No, the animations are stacked up, so yeah, this new hero, he was actually not that weak. He is gonna die here because he's guaranteed to die here, yeah. Well, unless the Hogger dies, those microbots have like 30 plus health, but they can't trade enough. So death it is. Yeah, and the other players, it doesn't really matter. They're playing for second place right now. Try and avoid this guy and you're fine. Shaxi could survive a hit, right? Shaxi could be, like, he's on 25, he could still live. Facing a Bran now. Bran has been on tier 4 the entire game. Just, I assume, playing Murlocs. So, you really need to make sure you attack well. I don't know why the blaster is so big, because of the balls, but it's actually counterproductive, because if your blaster doesn't die and then your selfless dies, you're kind of screwed. But, yeah. I'd like for them to go all in this round, right? Like if you don't all in here, you're on 20 health. He didn't pick a Baron. Like for example, there's a Baron in the shop here. Didn't take it yet, even though he has the gold. Oh, he did. Okay, I'm just stupid. Never mind. I'm gonna... But with Zorgo sipping his coffee. Double mech hurl with divine shield, and this is a terrible triple. He was playing Murlocs, he tripled into Greasebot. Most of the time you're like, oh shit, that sucks, but he turned it into something that actually is gonna be pretty good at a stage in the game. Like ping pong mech hurls here, people might not expect it, but you are reading mechs. You have double the taunt buffer even. What a nice board actually. And against Ghost, he's just chilling.
These holy mech rolls. And wow, what an actual insane comp from
Zorgo. Hey, Cole, by the way.
I don't know if you saw it there, but double walking fort is gonna buff up those macros a lot, along with that grease spot.
Yeah, and if you spectate someone, the animations have to take a certain amount of time. So even if the timer is gone and the player has done his entire turn, from a spectator point of view, the timer is still going. It's pretty messed up. But yeah, here are the two Menagericons fighting against each other. This is actually fun to watch. They're both playing like selfless Teotar stuff. Both very similar comps, both like Manted Queens, a ball. It's gonna be rather close, but the Elise is stronger though. It's not gonna be a kill because he's still pretty healthy. And holding double selfless. It is actually really strong. for a Menagerie, really big. He was probably able to beat the APM Pirates even last round just because of the poison, the big cleave, the Leroy, and the many shields, meaning it trades at least twice. And gets golden selfless. Wow. Dude, Penguin Son, he's the guy who also went 4-4. I really respect this board. Facing Zergo. With the Leroy. Yeah, okay, so we're getting Bear's Blessing. Chat, choose. Chat, who do you think is going to win this? So we have, on the left, we have Penguin Son, who went 4-4. He's playing the Menagerie comp. They're both being blocked. With Golden Selfless, also Leroy, big ass cleave. Or Zorgo, who had the Ping Pong Mackerels, has a bunch of poison as well. The main issue with Ping Pong Mackerels is there's a Leroy. But the stats on the left side are way bigger. The thing is, if the Leroy does not connect with the Mackerels, he could technically win. I think Zorgo could potentially win. But the poison is just going to hit shields as well. The thing is, the left side has Divine Shield taunts. I'm going to put my money on Penguin Son. I'd love to root for Zorgo here, but I don't think the Mackerels are going to be enough. Zorgo, Penguin, Zorgo, lefts. Ooh, actually still a lot of Zorgos. Okay. Also, Redbeard, what's up? And hey, everyone. Question, if I order some of my merch, do you then ship it from Belgium? I don't do any of it anymore. I didn't even, do I still have it? I don't think I have the link in my description anymore. But no, it's handled by Streamlabs, I think. So I don't touch it. I don't know where it's ordered from, to be honest. That's like old though. That's like over a year ago that I made that. So, but everyone who's ordered so far seems to have been happy with it. So, I don't remember where they're based. Okay, let's see it.
Like it's gonna be too much.
Oh, he put. Oh, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh.
He actually taunted Deflect though, so he did put another taunt on the board, which is pretty good. But one of the Mackerels, it was a 50-50 in the end, did die. So you need a hoodie, go for it. They're comfy.
Unlikely to be enough. Even
that cleave, Jesus. Yeah, he destroyed Zorgo.
Penguin Son takes care of business. The Sinstone Gale win.
God damn.
Getting a
Theater,
fourth,
man.
maybe a tie with third. And indeed, Shaxi does go down to Sarah's APM Pirate board, and it's going to come down to Golden Theater versus.
So, yeah, we have this player. I like this board so much. I really do. But up against APM Pirates. It's only turn 13, by the way. Like, I feel like these lobbies are 2 turns ahead of the average lobbies that even I face. Like, on turn 13, people are not this size yet. This is like a turn 12 or turn 11 board. What am I saying? It's a turn 14 or 15 board, but it's just not going to be enough against APM. Unless, again, there's not enough tech from the opposing side. We do see a Leroy and a Queen and a Golden Selfless. And like 100 attack cleave. That could deal like 300 damage across the board. We see another Tuxton in hand with a Divine Shield card. So as long as Penguin Son plays like Tunnel Blaster, Golden Selfless, Golden Baron, something along those lines, and has enough stats to deal with the opponent, he should be fine. Unless, again, the cleave takes off the shields of the opponent, and then, yeah, we'll have to see. We haven't seen the APM in a bit.
And I wonder if... Okay, I was going to say maybe he would have considered selling the Golden Theater. Oh, he is!
Wow.
He missed the buff,
so
though.
He's gonna...
Oh, no! Okay, never mind.
He's going to poison
I thought he missed the buff here, but he wanted to poison another Murloc on the board. And just ignore the Baron. Okay.
I mean, that's a pretty big assumption to make if you could have seen even a few seconds of what Sarah has done, which, by the way, we have not been seeing because he's so desynced. He's spending all the time that other players are fighting doing his turns, and then on the while he's fighting, everyone else is doing their next turn. So let's just see what he ended up with.
It's not that big, actually. Look at these stats. They're not that big. This is beatable. But he does have the Blaster, Golden Baron, Golden Selfless, and like one card that's pretty big, and the poison is not able to connect because, well, the Blaster just took rid of... Like, that's why Blaster is so good in Pirate Comps right now. It just gets rid of all of the tech that kind of beats you. Oh my god. Oh my god, what?
For Sarah.
That's so close!
Oh, it's actually
It
time.
was extraordinarily close. 9 health on the Salty Looter.
Oh god.
Okay, this is
I like the hype
now.
of these casters. Sometimes the casters can be like, oh shit, there's 9 health left, but they're really like putting their whole voice into it, their passion. Yeah, it's actually surprising to see a Theater Menagerie comp pretty much get to the size of the APM comp. Although from now on, AP... I mean... Let me think. The poison Murloc has to go, right? It doesn't do shit. You can't really buff your Leroy out of range either. Nah, I think at this point, the APM should just always win.
Have a chance to discover a Manted Queen. Oh. Sells the ball of minions as a last-ditch effort, but...
Wait. Can we get a replay on that? He sold his ball of minions. And it landed onto Leroy. So now it's a thick 123 health Leroy. Hell yeah. I mean, now he's not going to die to Blaster, right? If you didn't want your Leroy dying to Blaster, this is the solution. I assume he wanted it to land either consolidate stats onto Cyclone, which still isn't amazing, but probably on the 40 per was best. That's a risk you have to take. Or onto the poison, onto one of the 2 poisons so they don't die. But hey, at least the Leroy is safe now. He's picking any buffs he sees to try and get the Murloc out of range of the Blaster, but I think if the Blaster gets golden, there's just no way, right? It's incredibly hard. You have to spend like 2 turns maybe getting there. I don't think Baron even works, right? Or does it? Does it still trigger with the Baron? If the Baron dies in the same combat, I guess we'll find out.
Or stats to get it out of the Tunnel Blaster range.
I mean, having said that, I'm not really sure how much bigger
still normal Blaster
Sarah can get, because we just got confirmation he's only like just leaving the previous fight, weirdly enough. But it looks like he's done enough there, as that is a 300 now.
Wait, but the Leroy does get a shield now. This goes left. It doesn't. Okay. Yeah, this should be GG. There was definitely a way. Like, surprisingly, the Elise actually had ways to beat the APM here. But yeah, Sarah getting away with it. God damn. So that was lobby number 1.
You said we're hedging our bets a little bit here. Even though I know you're going to get every one of your bandwagon picks correct, at least I can pick up a little bit of the differential that's going to start to occur between us as the day goes on.
Yeah, so you just skip ahead to the next game, right?
Just...
And wait, here's the points.
Set up the board that he wanted and take the first place as we see here on the stage.
Again, this is the beginning. Anything can still happen.
And these standings looking very...
But the one that I'm really looking out for is... Ball of Minions, maybe. I think it counts. I think it... I don't actually know, but...
Nah.
Well, we'll have to see. We'll see if...
It's gonna be another Murloc lobby, but again, last lobby, no one was really playing Murlocs. I think Bran, we haven't really seen too much. He might have been playing Murlocs, but we saw a couple Menagerie players. We saw, like, double Mackerel. We saw APM Pirates, like 2 players trying to go Pirates, and Pirates ended up winning. So even though it was a Murloc lobby, I hope we see something similar along these lines, although we do see Max onto Flurgle, so we have a guaranteed Murloc player. We see Patches. We see Sarah onto Patches. He's committed onto the APM. Zorgo onto Eudora. Zanyang onto Fallen. Generally speaking, those are not good heroes. Vigo is... that is N'Zoth, right? And then Nobi's lobby. Wait, N'Zoth in the Nobi's lobby? Or is that Katoon? Is that Katoon? I don't know anymore. These new skins are confusing, but I guess we'll find out in a second. Out of those 6s, Eliza's the biggest tempo. It took Teotar. Is going to commit onto Menagerie now as well. You could freeze that shot for the token. Okay. Eudora. Wait, you pick the Naga first and then freeze 2 tokens. Okay.
So, I don't care what they say. I'm going to the developer as far as it needs to go. That does not...
I'm going to skip a bit. Like, these early turns aren't super interesting. It's a lot of waiting around where people level. The only person staying on 1 again is Eudora, because they're, I mean, they need to curve out. Everyone else is leveling. I'm wondering if we'll see a 3-on-3. It's a good lobby for that. We have Demons, Max. No Quillbors, still. Just your powers probably takes the 1-1. And then you could consider holding it on board for longer. Are we only staying with this perspective? It seems like it. I should move my mouse. Patches. kaboom bot on the board. I still want to know if we're facing that one person is in the Zoff or a Katoon. But now the quest turn.
It's another patient scout and sword. The charge. Gets a choice between Kidnap Sack for playing 4 Pirates or Murlocs, Victim Spectre for losing or tying 2 combats, which is very notable. I'd keep an eye on that one. Or the Smoking Gun for add 16 cards to the hand.
I think it's just got to be the Kidnap Sack, right? He's got 2 pirates ready to go right now. Potential for another.
Dealing Gailer, so it's gonna get it super early.
Holy shit! It is a pirate.
It's like potentially this. It's completed.
Oh my
God
goodness.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And look at the gold. Look at this board. Okay, so for my bandwagon pick, I'm gonna go ahead here after seeing that start. Kidnap.
Also, one thing I want to point out is that's why you're holding cards. He wasn't holding because I mean he had a neutral, but these are turns you can have if you hold cards as well. So if you're ever wondering, hey, why should I hold my cards on turn 4? Because you can pop off like that, get your quest on. Even though I know that's not what he did, right? But he's playing Yashiraj as well, so you don't really have that much of a choice. Now, this dude just leveled. I respect it.
Is this just a setup to open up leveling next?
Zorgo is not doing the suicide curve. He's still on full health and he's staying on tier 2. Or, yeah, he's just doing Rafam curve then, right? Just Rafam curving. And a pair on Trickster. Normally good. In the mid game, good tempo. But again, in the end game, not going to be super relevant.
To Tavern tier 3 to maintain the board strength.
Ooh. Okay, good hits. So Yashiraj, they're all still very healthy. Right now, like very often in lobbies, you have players that are like at 20 health early on, taking greedier lines, power leveling. Yeah, this was 2 days ago, Patrick. But right now, everyone is very close together. The lowest health is 37, highest health is 46, not even 10 health difference. And it's already turned 5. But now we're gonna see people that will run away with the lobby, get those triples. Although I don't think people have... Like, Lost Lobby, there are a lot of early triples. Right now, I don't really see that. The only players on 4 now are the Fallen and the Yashiraj. Yeah, this lobby seems a little bit slower than the last one. But I think Adora is going to be done with the dig in 1 turn, because he didn't dig on 1. They're just for farm curving in. Reno! What the hell is this, buddy? He's staying down, okay. He decides not to level. What is he doing? I don't know what his quest is or why he's doing this. But he wants to be... What the fuck? Is he... I guess he's freezing for the Murloc maybe the pair. Okay.
Murloc's getting cycled.
Yeah, freezing as well for, you know, an admittedly very powerful Murloc war leader. But I mean, how often do we see this, right? Where he was following the standard curve here up until turn 5, but they're not leveling here and just prioritizing some immediate tempo.
Also, quickly, if you're enjoying the stream so far, don't forget to leave it a like. I see there's like almost 200 people here and 11 likes, but it would be much appreciated. I hate doing these callouts, but they're part of the job.
So I think what we might
the Tricksters are carrying him. So the Tricksters right now are good. He could leverage that to level more. And triple it into a 6. But again, we saw someone go into Firebat last game and sell it the next turn, even though they had Golden Overseer. Just because... I mean, it doesn't matter, right? We see someone with 100 random cards because they're playing Menagerie. We saw APM Pirates. Firebat is just kind of bad right now. Unless for tempo. There's a golden pup here on Adora. You see Zorgo struggling. Look at his face. He's like, oh, how do I do this? It's awkward. But I assume just level dig and freeze and maybe take a 6 of that triple. The Reno tripled into a 4. Oh, I would always expect a 5 from Reno because golden 5s, well, pretty good. Thank you guys. I try. You could golden and Randall, I guess, or tank.
Yeah, the taunt.
It's like a top 4 play, and maybe top 4s are enough. Even that, I think, like right now with the state of the high roll, like golden tank might not even be enough to top 4 guarantee anymore. It used to. Same with Juggler, but at the moment it's just like... Oh, he's going for Cookbook. Okay, that explains why he stayed down. If you're just relying on Cookbook, on Reno it's not that good because it's hard to get value of your hero power then. Unless you get like Golden Rave. Maybe that's why he went into a 4, but there's no elementals. There's no Golden Rave. Like, what are you looking to golden when you're playing Cookbook? I don't know. But we're now seeing the Flurgle for the first time, who's still very healthy. Believe it or not forcing Murlocs. They have hidden body. They're just playing tempo. They also got a tank on the board, but they are on tier 4. This person is tier 3. And yeah, they can just discover more cards. So I assume they want to get to 5 early, start discovering 5 jobs, get Bran, and then they should just steamroll with Murlocs, right? They are going to be taking a big hit here, it seems.
It's almost a little too effective here, as a lot of his minions end up not dying there. But I imagine he'd happily sacrifice that to take the win. Zorgo, the first player to fall into the danger zone, down at just 15 health. But this could be the turnaround for him. Offered a Bran, which is like the pick here. But it is also a 2-4 when you're at 15 health.
Yeah, luckily.
It's a bit awkward. He went for 2 5s, probably because he dropped below damage cap. He got a Critter Wrangler, which just isn't... I mean, it's decent normally, but again, in these lobbies, I don't know how good it is. And a Bran, so I assume he might just pivot. We see Orgozoa. Okay. Okay.
Tony.
Another tank. Wait, is that two? How many players is that with a tank on the board? Like 3? Yeah, this lobby is very different from the last one, even though the tribes I don't think are too different.
We're just wanting to play into the potential of Hogger in the future.
Of course. Hogger.
Oh, and might instead try to golden this Gambler for the extra gold. The mechanic tank not too strong at this point. Also, with the change to your Sarge semi recently, you can now play a full board and just use the hero power to get a unit to hand, and that could be a Hogger for Sword. He doesn't need to gamble and play an open unit on the board, which means...
Oh, he wants to hero power.
The Gambler is possible, but yeah, he's just going to hero power and play the double Rip Snarl.
Okay. If he gets Hogger, it's going to be another APM game.
Zorgo just completed his quest, and he does have Blood Goblet, if I'm not mistaken, which, being the lowest health player in the game, is going to offer him some...
Actual Blood Goblet value. Look at that pub
we were just talking about to
Holy
stem
shit.
that bleeding.
Yeah,
the main issue with Blood Goblet, why I still think it's the worst quest, is look, the Pipbot has 33 attack, like it can kill some dudes, but it has 6 health. Like, it trades once and it's dead, right? Like, it trades with one thing. It's kind of like a Leroy in a sense right now. The Leroy in the early game, I think Blood Goblet, it's situational, it can be good, but you see him still taking 10 damage here. Like, this quest in the end didn't really prevent a lot of damage. He, like, Zargo's on 5 health, he needs to do something. We see Fallen not leveling to 6. They say, screw it, I don't want to go to 6 because guess what? I have a Bran, I have Murlocs, I'm just gonna go poison. Yeah, of course.
Maxing again, so he can shield this ball of minions. Oh, and finds Theatar, Eliza. Omega Buster takes the Eliza. I'm curious. Oh, that Seer is very tempting, and it's going to be a triple sell for it.
Yeah, it does.
And this is kind of the problem we see with
Snacks.
Murlocs,
Oh my
right?
goodness.
It is looking very strong, yeah. But like, we've seen players get to this situation quite a few times.
They're still 16, so they... Oh no, 19, so they can't die. They also have Snicker Snacks there, yeah, with the lookouts on board. That's nasty. And here we see... Akaltas on tier 5 with Golden Trickster still on full health. I mean, at this I don't think you want to be doing right now. It's a bit late. And the Flurgle finally decided to pick up Murlocs. They're still on tier 4. And they're like, okay, I can't be doing nothing for so long. I'll just get some Murlocs on the board, which is what you're supposed to do on this hero. But still with a tank... Yeah, this is a scrappy game. For like, if you compare all of these turn 8 boards to the last game turn 8 boards, like it's an entire difference. Remember turn 13, like 100 stats across the board? I don't think we'll see that here on turn 13, unless we see APM. But this seems to be going more towards the scam side of things, like people just getting the small poisons online and preparing for the APM pirates potentially. We haven't seen we have actually not seen this octopus. I don't know if it's Katoon or Nazov. We still haven't spectated them. I would like to see what they're doing. Also patches, I don't know if they're APM yet. They have a Vanessa on board. They killed Zorgo. Rest in peace, Zorgo. But yeah, I don't think the patches is actually APM. We see that IG Sword. Oh wait, what the fuck? So IG Sword had like the Tony setup with a bunch of pirates. He's on tier 6 now, so I'm actually thinking that he got infinite or he got a Hogger and got enough money to level. That's my first instinct here. But Reno has Golden Hogger. I don't know how they did it. They had the cookbook, right? They were struggling at the early game. They had like a bunch of random one-drops. They were looking very weak. And they're still weak. Wait, can someone explain to me why this guy has 32 health? Why does he have 32 health with this board where we see Zorgo die? And if you look at Zorgo's board again, I don't know if I want to rewind, that might be too confusing. But Zorgo's board was a million times stronger than this. I don't know how he's this healthy. But anyway, he is this healthy, got to triple into Hogger. And a Hogger cookbook is scary. And the Bren? Oh god, dude, have mercy.
On the Hoggar, and now we just take off. Bran as well, offering him so many hits to keep the economy rolling.
Oh my goodness.
As well.
Okay, so who do you guys gonna make? It is Katoon, actually. Okay, I wasn't sure. So it is a Katoon. How is this a real Barrow's Blessing? How? Dude, I don't think Zorgo deserves to die. These boards are still on 30 plus health, but they're so weak. Like, this is one Lava Lurker and a Queen, right? And here like a 927 Snail. So, what turn is this? 9 or 10? Who do you guys think is gonna win? Left or right side? The Cookbook Pirate player or the Katoon? I'm gonna say the Reno for sure. I don't think it's even remotely close. But, no, because this is taunted. Yeah, okay, wait. Maybe if this gets Divine Shield, kills you things. Actually, it could be close. Actually, okay. I think it's gonna be close, but I think the Reno still lives.
Take out any potential Divine
I don't think it's
100%
wow, at all.
Yeah, I'm feeling confident in our pick, and you're well on your way to a perfect barrel.
Wait. It was a wrong. No. Wait, they ended on Blaster? I didn't see that. Okay. Does that change things?
This
maybe?
Fight does go favorably. Although the first hits actually, like I said, sometimes it comes down to RNG, and that Mantid is still alive. The Lava Lurker doing a lot.
Who said 100%? Who said 100? I told you guys it's gonna be close. The Katoon actually won. So right side Varia, you're actually the only one who's correct. I thought left as well for sure, the Reno, but that's why you never say 100%. If you looked at the breakpoints, there were ways that the Queen actually, yeah, go them. So Katoon actually beat this, but again, it's not a lot of damage. They're still on 24 health. They're kind of just balling, and they're not fully infinite, to be honest. Like they could still, you know, be outskilled. But this again, this lobby is very scuffed compared to the previous one. For turn 10. Holy shit, that Trickster! They're still on full health. Trickster doesn't have taunt though. They're picking up poisons because that's what you do. And they did go with some Atisal scaling.
Strong
okay.
with those Murlocs, the Snicker Snack brand Primal Fin setup. It is gonna sort of be a bit of a counter to this very big Trickster that's been buffed up by Devil in the Details. Penguin Sun using that along with the Athissa and Glow Scales to sort of...
This is like the classic, I just build a couple big cards and then go into scam strategy. You have one big Trickster, one big Brute, and then maybe like you skill one more big card, and then you just play tech. You play poisons, you play shields, you play everything else to fill out the board. But we see another Naga player. They're both playing Naga, but like nothing crazy. We still see one Atissa here. Double Orgozoa, sure. Critter Wrangler in hand and a Critter Wrangler on board. But yeah. Like again, nothing beats the Reno, but they're kind of fighting for stats. Why is this a stats game? Wait. It's a Murloc lobby. It's so easy to go full poison. We see some people already go towards it. Why is everyone trying to go stats? Dispatches are actually very scuffed. They're playing with Vanessa, Golden Peggy, and then some random ass dudes. Yeah, this is scuffed. They have Golden Hammer though, so they've been using it on to Peggy, I assume. Ooh, that was actually good to get rid of the shield there. And we see the K2 now. They found a taunt buffer, so they're going more into taunt comp. Yeah, I don't know why this is a stat game. I'm confused.
Big salty looter goes into the poison. The lava lurker. All the minions remain.
Good to be able to survive though.
Yeah.
Right? Just
Won't be lethal here. Just gonna go down to a very low health total. 3 to be exact. And Zanyang has
this is what I mean.
Sets, but
this is what I expected more to see this lobby. Golden Selfless, Leroy, bunch of poison. Zanyang actually, he never went to 6. He's playing Fallen, but he decided to stay on 5 and just use the Snickers Snack and just a bunch of random Murlocs. Which is good against a lot of this lobby. And that is what the Flurgle is now also doing. Okay. And found the Leroy, pretty good. Yeah, so we will have these kind of endgame boards, and then we will have the scalers like the Reno and the couple of Tissa boards that we saw, who saved health. Like, surprisingly enough, they're all really healthy. Also, no one died yet. I want to point your attention to Zorgo still being the only one out, and that was like ages ago. That was like turn 8 or turn 7 that Zorgo died with a Blood Goblet. No one else has been taking big hits. So this lobby might go on for a bit. That's a promote.
if it's necessarily going to be good enough to beat those Divine Shields from Zanya.
yeah, and I mean Max 7 key is scaling up here, but susceptible to that Leroy leading from Zanyang board or
That's one turn where
this is
more than enough stats for the moment.
infinite, but with Cooked Book, the single Golden Hogger is going to be enough to bolster scaling. The question is it going to be enough?
Like, again, look at it. You go for stats and you see this couple of Murlocs and you're like, oh shit, I'm screwed. And he might still win because he only has one big dude left here. Oh, and he didn't get the value trade. If you value traded, yeah. But okay, Reno taking it.
So Penguin's getting away with not taking too much damage and might just luck his way
Still
into
no
a top
death.
4 on Kael'thas by
turn
staying
12.
pretty high health and relying on devils in the details. Not the typical setup. And we're gonna see Shaxi slowly transition into that mech setup, picking up that deflector there with a war gear in hand already.
It makes sense, right? When you have the cook.
Oh, but found the other Hogger. So Shaxi's infinite.
He's infinite. Okay, this dude is now infinite. He can build infinite stats. There's a macro in the shop as well. I wonder if he's taking it. The issue is that you might run out of money. Oh no, probably not. So he's looking to pivot into max, which is indeed ideal. So that's how you can also win with Cookbook Pirates. You just use the stats that you have, and just instead of having big pirates, you build big Divine Shields that get Divine Shields back, and then poison can't hurt you. Poison is not real. That should be the winning line here. I like it. And I mean, yeah. Isn't Zorgo dead? Yeah, he died first. Zorgo was the first one out. That's what I said, right? It's just so long ago. Turn 12. Again, I think if you look at last game, I can even show you, probably. It's turn 12 right now. I think turn 13, people in the, like, there were only 2 players left, turn 13. And they had like 100 plus stats with their menagerie comps. Well, this lobby, this is the biggest player. The other players are like half his size. Just because we saw a lot of mechano tanks early on, we see a lot less high rolls happening. It's interesting how these lobbies, like the dynamics are very different, even though a lot of the tribes are the same. They both have a very similar tribes, I think. But just because of the heroes and the quest selection, it just played out completely differently. I think that's fun to watch at least.
He's gonna pick it up on 6. He can get it with a buff. He's not gonna settle for a puny 6/9 Foe Reaper. And we saw Vigo's Cthulhu have a ton of stats, able to top Shawksy's board in their last fight.
Okay, he doesn't die.
Not this time around. Shawkzy says he's gonna do 17
but he has poison.
damage, putting Vigo down to 4 on the Cthulhu.
If someone can maybe blast the Reno and then have poison, or maybe taunted Leroy's, yeah, taunted Leroy's, you could still win, I think. We see finally another death. Only one person. It's turn 13, still 6 alive. It was the Patches who just wasn't that strong. Golden taunt boy, and this dude is on tier 5. I don't know how that happens, but it happens. And oh, they have Victim Spectre. Okay, never mind. I know how it happens now.
Slow, but it is technically getting there with these battle cries and the walking fort as well. But I don't think with the number of poisons available, he's going to be able to scam his way against the likes of the pirates. But having just said that, he does pick up 2
There's a
more.
selfless. I'd probably freeze the selfless, and then you can swap out the fort in the end to try and land shields onto your Murlocs, right? That's kind of what you need. You need Murlocs in the end. They are a necessary solution. Not in their current form. Poison is a necessary solution, but Murlocs is not. I mean, you need poison, yes. You need stuff like Queen and Leroy, but I think this is just toxic as hell, right? Being able to poison an entire board so thoroughly, so you don't actually need to build any stats. Every endgame is just too similar. It just reduces the lines, the options that you can take to, like, you go this or you don't win. It's too much rock, paper, scissors. Like, while other auto battlers or like older battlegrounds didn't have that issue, poison was there, but there were a lot of ways to counter it, and also you couldn't too easily just full out the entire board. Which is because of reasons like, for example, this quest, Snickers Next. Like, it was too easy for this guy to pivot.
Taking an extra taunt. The taunt
but that's a topic for an entire other video.
That Snickers Next, so not gonna have to worry about anything else getting taunted there. And the Mira trades into the
Ooh, bad hits.
Now these other taunts are big enough to trade units. The poisons do have a chance to attack as the menace does delay the selfless hero, and there's a chance.
Oh, so lucky, bro.
Is it a tie?
It's a tie. There's gonna be a stupid tie, but those hits are close. Like, in the end, this is it. This is just a bunch of coin flips. Like, who's gonna attack here? How many bumpers do you get? Where do the shields land? Do you get value trades? It's more interesting. I mean, right now it's just a blowout game. Every game I think is gonna feel like this. You have infinite players like this dude. Look how big this 4 Reaper is. You can't outskill this. No matter what you do, you either play scam or you play APM. So it's very one-dimensional. Like, either you hit or you don't. And that's what I don't like about the game right now. There's just comps that you know win the game, and there's comps that play for the top 4. And the playstyle for a lot of the comps that win the game are always the same, so it's not like you have multiple things that you can go for. Yeah, so why? So would you fix it, for example, by switching it to another tribe? No. Murloc's, I think I'm fine with Murloc's having poison. You just shouldn't have a card that can poison everything. The best solution, I've heard this from others as well, is to just have a Murloc with poison. That's it. You don't need a Murloc like Sefin or like Tuxfin that gives poison to other cards. That especially is easy to spread, so you can like use one Tuxfin to sometimes get multiple poisons with the 6-drop, with Snicker Snacks, with, you know, or Sefin that can poison the entire board. Just have a Murloc with the poison tag. That's it. So that way, at most, you can have 2 poisons on the board. Because if you want a third, you would have to triple it and find 2 more, like Leroy, like Manted Queen. So I mean, that seems like an easy solution to me. Why not just do that? To like have poison in the game, but limited to not make it a free full pivot. Oh my god, that deflector, holy shit. That's a big boy. Hey, Alan, what's up? Good to see you. How are you doing? Oh, wait, triples?
Takes the triple? I mean,
just
dude, look at that. But why? Why would you triple it? It's so big already. I don't see a need to ever get more stats. Oh wait, I mean this Naga play actually ended up high rolling. But yeah, I would, yeah, this is why I wouldn't triple it. Like your big mackerel now died. If you had 2 of them, you still had another one left. It's not gonna matter because you're so big. I guess you could have 2 more mackerels now, but it seems like overkill to me. But hey, what do I know?
You look at how close it is. Only a single unit survives, but Shawkzy on 6
ongoing
it will
effect
be
that gives the neighbor
to
Murloc
lethal
poison.
sword to again, just
no. Anything that spreads poison is abusable to just pivot into a comp out of nowhere. If you have a card that spreads poison around, you will always have the same issue in the game where entire boards are just going to be poisoned, and that's going to be a composition that beats stats. So you just need to find one card and you basically can counter a lot of builds already. That's not how it should work. But again, I don't know what the win rates look like in lower ranks. I know the devs talk a lot about... Wait, I'll pull up a tweet while this plays out.
Likely gonna pick up this glow scale, but we don't know if Penguin Sun knows how strong Sword's board is.
Yeah, look at this board. This made it to top 3. Interesting that the Trickster is still here. Like, he was a Trickster Temple player early on.
He's just banking money with the Patient Scout. There's not anything specific he's looking for, right?
Yeah, not anything specific. I mean, he knows what the end game is. All of these players know what the end game is. They know Shaxx is huge. They probably know that Shaxx is not losing.
Trying to find it.
You know, your only chance is Divine Shield Poison. You're not going to be able to compete with Shaxx's stats, and you're going to have to get lucky with the hits. Obviously, Leroy, you know, really good, but if you can't take it, you might as well bank the gold in hope. But I am going to be very curious about this quest. Thor doesn't have the glow scale shields. Obviously, Ghost's not able to play those, but I mean, his board is still just crazy.
Those are big stats for Naga.
The difference here. And it goes onto the Baron, and that's a huge hit.
Being able to survive there is massive.
Penguin Sun will fall to the Ghost.
I don't know if I can find it. I'm trying.
Zanyang, I can only imagine what we're just about to see here. Picked up another Foe Reaper.
I mean, yeah, this fight is just kind of boring to watch, right? But yeah, I'm trying to find a tweet from a dev that explains why or how they change things and why sometimes it takes longer. I don't remember who tweeted it or where it was tweeted. I remember seeing it. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But I think it might answer why Murlocs are taking so long. Anyway.
Water. He takes
it's an interesting... Yeah, he wins. Wait, did the other die? Did the other player die to Ghost, or was this already finals? The other player died to Ghost. Okay, so that was game 2. Let's take a look at the standings real quick. But this was turn 16. The other game ended turn 13, I think. So really different lobbies, even though it was a lot of the same tribes. So the playstyle... I mean, both lobbies were won by 8 PM. The first lobby, won by 8 PM. Second lobby, won by 8 PM. The top 3 consisted mainly of poison. And here, actually, Menagerie. In the first lobby, there was not that much poison, but yeah. Yo, Ella, thank you so much for the... I'll call it a resub, but for being a member for, you know, 2 more months. I really, really appreciate it with the green bug. Thank you for all the support, even though I know I've not been very active recently. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so it's a tie now between Shaxx and Penguin Sun. Sarah in third. Zanyang fourth. Like, they're all really close. IG Sword and Vigo are just like 1 point behind. Max is a little bit struggling right now, but we've seen people make a comeback from last like real easily. So I don't think there's anything to worry about right now. There's not like a massive lead or a massive difference. There's gonna be a close one. It's gonna be fun to watch. They're all similarly playing well. Yeah, I don't think there's a big gap or a difference in playstyle him. Anyway.
To see all that Pyra action. Looking to see something a little bit...
What's the damage effect? It's the new strike, I think it's called, right? Hey Ben, did you get a chocolate ladder? I did not know. Yeah, thanks again, Alan. I really appreciate it. Let me see if I can find a tweet while they're selecting heroes. I wonder if he's actually thinking about this. I still have not seen this do well. We see another cartoon in the lobby.
Imagine going, but Sneed is also pretty good in this lobby. So we'll see what he opts for. A surprise pick, the Malagos. And now I'm very curious to see what Shaxx does with Malagos here. There are some tokens in, but we're going to keep an eye on what Penguin Sun picks as his Finley hero power offered Illidan's hero power, Eudora's hero power, and Vol'jin's spirit
Is
swap.
this a Murloc lobby? That's all I care about. I want to know if there's Murloc. Yeah, there's a Murloc here. Okay, another Murloc lobby, 3 in a row. A lot of it's sad, but what do you do about it? That's life. Fucking look at his face. Zorgo picked Tad as his 2-drop, Primal Fin Lookout as his 4-drop, and Murkai as his 6-drop.
For instance, you shut your Murkais and you just spam some Murlocs.
Yeah, I can't find the tweets.
And you know what? Oh wait, Sword? Okay, he's on the Janus. I was gonna say I was gonna turn one, do my bandwagon pick for Zorgo with that Murloc setup, but now I'm a little bit concerned. Janus is so powerful. You know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm doing it. Bandwagon for Zorgo on the Murlocs. I'm feeling it.
Perfect. I'm a little bit torn on this one.
This is so
I'm tempted to just go Shaxi again because it's my boy.
Well, anyone in chat, you do have a couple turns to see how things play out. Check out what those quests are quickly before making your prediction. Max 7 key on Kadoon here.
I can't find it. I'm so mad.
So not wanting to lose these early game fights, probably expecting to hero power on turn 3. And Zorgo freezing the Murlocs in the shop, so gonna opt to pick up that Swamp Striker and likely the Rock Pool, selling that Tad for a nice clean turn. Gonna take damage to Penguin Sun's Finley.
I think the new hero is good in Murloc lobby. Every hero is good in Murloc lobby if you can get Murlocs. I don't think it's... I mean, it can give shields and reborn, but I mean, the quest is a lot better than the hero because the quest allows you to reborn, well, what you want instead of just randomly hoping it lands well. I think the new hero is just not good in general.
Is gonna play one. Let's see if he holds the second one here for the quest. Looks like he will.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of synergy there, right? It's battle cries, Murlocs, and change your minion stats would get you a couple of procs on that. So I do actually like potentially taking a little bit more damage for a quicker quest.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what we see on Sarah's board as well. Mutant is a hero we don't see that often, in large part because of those quests. And oh, Zorgo, he's gonna do it at the last second? He does! He commits the other rock pool down, not wanting to take damage, playing the battle cry, playing the Murloc, up against the Mutant, who has a very similar board, but instead of that,
Mutant is also Murloc, okay.
Has a Scallywag, and because of that, it's not gonna be enough. So Zorgo saves a little bit of health, committing the rock pool down, and we'll see his quests coming up here. Finds a Murloc War Leader in the shop. Those are tied 2 combats, cooked book, and
oh, insta.
It was, yeah.
I mean, I guess with that one, you're maybe holding back on the War Leader because that was potentially the kind of board that could actually win.
Well, and he picks up a Patient Scout, and what that's going to allow him to do is...
It's almost OP, the hero sucks because he's too much RNG. Yeah, exactly. If you can guide your Reborn and shields, I mean, that's insane, right? But if it's random, like, it's so unlikely it lands well. And if it lands well, okay, nice. But if that's your entire hero power, a lot of heroes can scam a lot better you or do more powerful things. So, what do you choose? I guess we'll see later, or we'll hear them talk about it. I'm still trying to find a tweet that explains how they do balancing and how they do stuff, but I cannot find it. If I can't find it, I'll quickly talk about what I think it said. I hate like paraphrasing.
We'll see what quests he has in a second, but I'd also like to see what Shaxx he's up to on the Malagos. I was completely taken back by that setup. Also going for Murlocs and freezing a Patient Scout here.
Okay, I already don't really want to watch this lobby because all of the early boards seem the same. But we'll see where this goes. Anyway, what the tweet was one of the developers explaining why sometimes things happen or don't happen, particularly when people were discussing Murlocs. And I think, again, don't quote me on this, so I'm going to be careful what I say, but it was along the lines of, we are looking at win rates across all ranks, so the majority of players are casuals. We're looking at what their experience is as well, instead of just the top players that complain all the time, or just people that are more engaged, even though those definitely should, you know, probably weigh a bit more than the majority of people, because we spend more money probably into the game, more time, and without us, a lot of things will also fall apart. Again, I'm not, that's just what I'm thinking. What else was it? Something along the lines of it takes time to get a patch together because there's like a schedule on which they release patches, and sometimes they cannot ship things with certain things, or they have to like get back with other people. Like, again, it's a company that has to go through a lot of formal bullshit and structure and people that need to give approvals. It's not just, okay, people are complaining about this, let's fix it, right? Which I do understand. But then again, it's been so long, right? There's other things as well. I'm gonna see if I can remember them, but we see Adora also dig here into Golden Lava Lurker into a 5-drop.
4/4, and that will be an 8/8 in combat. Dorgo's still contemplating this decision. The stats of Cold Light Seer, a pair available in the shop as well, or the early guaranteed poison.
It's a pair.
Especially if you do grab that kidnap sack.
It does. Oh, wow. I was going to say it felt to me like you had to go for Seer. Like, I know poison is the late game thinking here, but it just felt like +8 health here on all your board overall is probably going to win you more fights in the early game. But he's got his sight sets on the horizon here, and I think it makes sense from where Zorgo is at. He needs a win here, being in 7th place overall in the standings.
Yeah, absolutely, and you are completely right. It would have saved him a decent amount of health being stronger in these early game fights, but with that kidnap sack not too far away, being able to bounce that poison or the primal fin and having that option depending on the fight is a huge boon for Zorgo.
Okay. The triple.
Gonna see Sarah eating a Murloc.
Looking for that brand again.
The Swamp Striker, and absolutely looking for the brand like you said, but not hitting.
Okay.
Instead finds a Bristleback Knight, Tony Two-Tusker.
Knight is good. Knight is good tempo. You're playing Mutinous, so you get good value of this. Kripparrian are also good because Naga scaling is generally good on Mutinous, since you can turn the spells permanent by eating them. Just go for the immediate tempo and for the good spit target. Freezes a Murloc as well. So far, most people seem to be playing the same stuff. This person is just playing Vol'jin and going for pairs. Picking, like, this is such a random board. I don't know what I'm looking at. Is he just gonna level here? He's gonna stay. Pick up another Selfless. Okay.
Curious if he... Okay, he does not take the other Sasuke captain. So you definitely want to play for direction here. He's been able to maintain that high health total at 39, but you're getting to a spot
Ooh, the quest is gonna take a while. Wow.
It's pretty scary from here on out because his board strength is weak. Oh, and I said earlier, I understand
Gold
now.
Grubber. Holy.
It's because he has Pilfered Lamps as his quest. And the quest that he has to complete, play 10 Battlecry minions. So Thorncaller, working towards that.
He still wins.
But will it be enough? He is able to use that hero power to stay healthy here.
Poki is doing so well. He's instantly answering the questions that I have. Like, why does he do this? What is the point? And then completely like, oh yeah, it's because of quest and this and that. It makes me have to think less hard, and I like that. We see Cookbook active here already onto Silas. So we know what Silas is going to be doing. Again, it's a pirate lobby. All of these lobbies are very similar. Murloc pirates in. No max this time though. If he hits Hogger, no.
Available. No mechs this time, but we saw how powerful Hogger can be in this situation.
Mind the idea of just snapping up a baby crush to see you through these you know, awkward transition turns before you turn into the butterfly that is Cookbook.
Absolutely, that intermediate tempo, setting up for the late game success of having Cookbook carry you to victory.
Yeah, these are again very scuffed boards. For turn 7, no one seems to be knowing what they're doing. Like this guy, he knows he's doing Cookbook, but his board is just like screaming help. What the fuck is going on? And the other players as well, they're kind of like, I don't know what this is. Like as a Janus player, you hate to see this. Oh, Kidnap Sec used here to get the Ellicott back. Kripparrian Lava Lurker. it's very awkward because you already see poison early on from, like, for example, Zorgo, who is on tier 6, by the way. Yes.
I think he's going to rely on having some of those Nagas here for a little bit, but then tripling instead of a 5 on this second one, a 6, looking for that Athissa or Orgozoa that we see be the linchpin of the Naga strategies. Able to snipe that Myrmidon with that Divine Shield is very nice. The Lava Lurker taking the few units itself. So it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be pretty minimal damage out of Vigo's Eudora. A hero that we've seen a few times now, so semi-mixed results. We saw a win yesterday, an 8th today. We'll see where Vigo ends up.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. So he went to 5 though. So he realized he tripled into tempo. He needs a brand here, so he goes to 5. Has Golden Hammer, so if he finds a brand, he's good. And then this Zorgo's board is so toxic. He is below damage cap though, but that's Zorgo's playstyle. If you watch him stream as well, like he takes a lines that often put him in danger, but then just win the lobby, which sadly didn't happen on Adora, but he also had a trash quest. This time, however, it's a different story because he's facing Katoon.
Does find that double cold lights here in their shop. Not gonna have enough gold to grab both, but will likely pick up one of those 2 units.
Could actually end up with a board of 5 poisons here if you wanted to, if you played the Toxfin and then left it on the left-hand side of young Murkai, which, you know, at this point...
Overlaps active, let's go!
Super strong, but what has happened here for
Penguin? Super strong. Penguin Sun has set up 4 triples into 5, has 20 seconds to play them all down, finds a brand, a Hogger, place the brand before playing the Thorncaller, maximizing the value, gems to hand, finds an Agamega to bolster the stats from the gems, an insane
He's
amount
holding
of
a triple.
Stats coming down.
He's not.
Is going to play the Shell Collector at the end, making sure there's enough hand space for all the coins. The coins won't get expended, neither will the triple.
I like the dedication of him to not play the triple reward yet, because if you play it and you get a Hogger, it would go back in hand and you lose tempo here because you might not have the time to play it again. So life hack, if you're running out of time, you have triples, don't use them because you might make yourself weaker. Just, you know, take the turn. But he's able to off that tempo stabilize, it seems. Yes. And he has Pilfer Lamps. He has a lot of cards that can give him a lot of tools, a lot of direction. He has health to work with as a resource. He's just balling. Straight up balling. And Zorgo also didn't take a hit. Gets the brand. Okay.
At least tie it.
Golden brand.
It's golden brand.
It's the whole
Ladies and gentlemen, we found the winner. He played as well though. He stayed down with a bunch of random cards. Just takes 1,000,000 5s. I assume he does not want to go for 6s because it's too risky. But normally speaking, you go for 6s because you can hit Naga, and Nagas are the best things on tier 6 that you can hit with Pilfered Lamps. I guess with Sandstone, but Pilfered Lamps is also pretty good because Orgozoa can like just farm triples. But he says, fuck it, I'll take Brand, I'll take Hoggers, I'll just go infinite and just do stupid shit like that. He did go to 5 here because he has the Hoggers. He needs one more Hogger to be infinite because right now he's not doing that much until he hits like, what the hell? Until he hits a lookout, let's say. But before he has lookout, it's just hey Captain, what's up? I don't know why he is. He's always played with gloves. Maybe, I don't know, I have no clue why. But there's probably a reason for it. Yeah, these people, like, the main difference between these players is they perform well under pressure. Like, their mind is hardwired that they've been in enough situations like this that they just know that, okay, I have this much time. These are the things I always have to get in my turn. These are the things that I want to get in, but if my time runs out, I can't get in. And this is how I deal with it. Ooh. Zorgo is pretty strong, but he doesn't value trade at all, right? But he's going to be fine, yeah. Okay. Oh, he even wins. Holy shit. Adora taking a hit here. Zergo with the classic meta board. But yeah, Adora is still alive and has the Zeros every round, so. Hey, Captain, yeah. Are you going to stream to Twitch soon? I streamed on Twitch 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I did at some point. Ooh, he skipped a triple, probably intentionally for money, because he doesn't want the 6 drop, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'll probably do another Battleground stream on YouTube this week somewhere. But first, I want to finish my video for the second channel. My Floor is Lava CEST challenge was a fun one. Double Golden Grubber on Adora. An actual Gold Grubber Adora game. What the hell? What year is this? What year is this?
Where the Eliza could be a lot of in-combat stats.
Yeah,
that will be the pickup.
Like for Vigo here, he knows he's not winning this lobby, not even close. He just needs to try and claw one extra spot up the leaderboard by not coming in stone cold 8th.
And Shaxi with the Malagos pickup on the break.
Oh, you know what sucks? That this Mutinous somehow is still healthy. I don't know how he's scaling, but he has to use Golden Hammer onto Bristleback Knights. Like, guesses are brutal. What do you mean with brutal? I think these are the best guesses we've had. But yeah, he has to use Golden Hammer onto the Bristleback Knight, which is so awful. Like at this stage in the game, he wasn't able to use it onto scaling, right? Unless he actually tripled this and used it on something else that he sold or onto this. But I think he just had to use it for tempo here.
2 big Divine Shield units behind there, and I'm worried for Shaxi.
He's also relying on poisons pretty heavily. He's got some divine shields of his own.
Oh, Malagos also poison. Okay,
and the
classic.
Glow scale, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough to stand up against this unless there's some very lucky hits.
Actually, shield did.
He value trades. Oh, he didn't value trade.
Oh, that's not the one.
Big poison, and that is not it at all.
You could have survived. You could have survived with like 2 different hits. Is on glow skill for extra shield. That's the golden glow skill doesn't. Oh, if you give it on glow skill, it's gonna re-give you the golden shield. That is true. Yeah. Divine shield to Naga, it's gonna give you the golden. Yeah. You're right. But we see they're still at APM. So even though they're pilfered lamps, they're not APM. How the hell did their? I guess they use Necrolites or something. But they have a massive Bristleback Knights. They still have Golem Brand, so I mean they're kind of infinite, right? All they have to do is find cards that generate you money, and Bran will just do that for you. He went to tier 6 because it was free because of the lookout, and he's infinite. Okay, he won. That's also an insane shop. Wow. He's gonna sell the knights? Really? Okay, sells the massive knights. Okay, and just goes all in on the APM. It's a little bit risky to sell a big divine shield. Like that was big enough for the end game already, but he didn't know what to sell. So I would have probably sold actually, that's a good question. You have to think about stuff like this beforehand. So what you have to do as well when you're in this spot is you have to make these decisions beforehand while combat is happening, because otherwise you'll be in a position where you're like, okay, shit, what do I sell? But you don't have time to think. You need to do the thinking before the timer starts running. So when you have to sell something, you can instantly snap and do it. Yeah, he's full gen. He used Necro and then swapped it, but I would have liked to keep it probably and maybe sell. I think Bran is too good with those arms in the shop. Probably sell the queen or the Peggy. Probably queen.
Gonna be a lot. We see a couple strong arms coming down. One of them the golden Bran, and so many minions bought this turn. Finally, that Peggy does get buffed up.
Yeah, looking for a Mantid there on the last one. Doesn't hit.
Oh, gonna play the Zap to try and play around any techs. And Vigo with no poisons on board, just relying on those Elizas. Yeah.
I mean,
indeed.
Vigo did well. He did well in this game to squeeze out not coming in absolute.
He's playing with Gold Grubbers and Elizas, man. And with like this random Naga that he tripled into. I think the Adora did a really good job stabilizing. Malagos was a poison player that's now dead. Tempo Pirate player that's dead. And this lobby, I think, is gonna again be won by APM. I think there's gonna be 3 lobbies in a row won by APM Pirates. I know APM Pirates are cool. I like watching it, but when every lobby is just gonna win, because of this, it's not a very good look, you know.
Penguin Sun opting to skip the triples at this point, fully committed to the board on hand, not needing anything else. Does grab the Ether for potential Baron, Selfless later.
Oh my god.
Even a Leroy Romantic buff.
There really is just something in the water today, or I guess more appropriately on the water, because it's just pirates.
And now we turn 12. Yeah, you can like again compare this to last game that was a lot slower, right? When it comes to stats or poison boards, like this came online a bit faster than the last one. I mean, APM is not that much skill. You just need to be fast. I mean, it is skill reliant, but in the end, if every lobby wins by APM pirates, it's more skill than poison, but at the same time, you just need to find 4 Hogger somehow, and you win, right? If you just don't choke. Like the real skill in Battlegrounds is being able to adapt and be creative and play cool comps like Menagerie and make those work and tech properly and all those things. But all of that is kind of reduced out of these free lobbies. Like the end games are so one-dimensional and the lines in the mid game that a lot of what I like is reduced. But anyway, what is your guess here? Who is gonna win this? Either Max on the left with Katoon playing Murlocs with no poison. He has like a Queen and a Leroy, or right side which also has Queen and Leroy but more shields and a poison divine shield but no stats. Oh, it's actually interesting. Right side is Sarah Mutinous with the same tech but more shields but less stats. So left can value trade. Let me see. Actually, I'm not sure, because the Leroy dies into a useless stance, and there Leroy kills Queen. Yeah, Sarah probably wins this. Purely from a perspective of knowing what taunts they have.
Surprisingly big though. Kind of close.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Sarah, but I do not feel confident.
It's close.
The main issue is that left has so many static and value trade.
It's gonna come down to where this Leroy goes. Will it die?
Pausing is cheating? Nope. I can pause as much as I want.
Hinted. Will it hit the divine
My stream.
shield?
Oh, the Queen got
No
taunts.
divine shield.
Oh, that's really bad.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Yeah, those hits.
It could have actually, it could have been close if just the Leroy went left into the Queen. That yeah, that could have been interesting. Which tribe is balanced? I feel like it's Kibler. I feel like every tribe can high roll, and people will always complain about every tribe. No matter what tribe I'm gonna say, people are gonna tell me no, that's not balanced. What the hell? Like, you can high roll so hard with this. I do like Kibler. They're the most flexible. They have like the most compositions that you can go, most different ways to scale. Like you can play Max of It, Shaker, Lowercase Elders, Agam, go into Menagerie, which Menagerie cards you choose. You can have multiple ways to generate gems. I think Kiblers are most flexible and therefore I think most skill rewarding and fun. Although they just grow stats, right? That's mainly what they do. They grow stats, and at the end of the day, they don't have a cleave. They have like 2 divine shield cards. I think the best composition you can go, or the most skill rewarding and most fun, is Menagerie, because that way you're truly tested, right? Like you can find every way. Like you can play Menagerie with 2 Peggies that scale each other whenever you buy cards. You can play a Brennifid or a Teotar or a Fort or something else, maybe with Critter Wranglers that you just make a big win for your cleave. There's like unlimited ways that you can approach this, and cards that you go for, and tech that you do specifically against your opponents, that I wish. It also can beat any comp, right? Like if you're going full stats, you just deck your comp around that. If you're against full poison, you play like a win for your cleave or more shields or things like that. So that's why I'm always have been the biggest fan of Menagerie. It just gives you the, like, every game feels different, most ways to scale. You're always put in different situations and against different opponents that need different like positioning or tools. So that would be my answer. No one tribe, but like a mix of tribes together. Stun viable? Yeah, sometimes, but we see it just not win against APM Pirates and Poison, which, I mean, nothing wins against APM Pirates and Poison. So by that definition, nothing is viable, because everything loses to, well, this. But by the definition of, oh wait, Bro, this was almost close. If he value traded with the Baron here, it's gonna be a lot closer. But yeah, now sadly Zorgo dies. You could see him balding. He only gets 4th here, solo 4th, even though he has full poison. But yeah, the APM player is just gonna take it.
Solo 4th. It will be
but hey, we see Cooked Book here actually carry on. They have a golden elite still.
To clear up some of those poisons on Zorgo.
Yeah, Zorgo having a sad time.
Assume, and Zorgo won't have the benefit of those glow skills this time around.
Hey, they're bugged.
Or
I gotta say,
ghost, I should say.
Yeah, Zanyang making it further than I thought he would. In all honesty, with this board, I really thought.
Oh, that rat! Holy shit!
Scaled pretty heavily now, but he's getting it done. And respect to him for it.
Yeah, and it looks
like
today.
Sarah just on APM as well. This player also just on APM, but I think he's so far behind on the other player. You cannot build the stats, you don't have the tech. This was the Mutinous who was playing with the Golden Knights, right? Golden Bristleback Knights had like nothing of a board. Somehow made it in top 3. Somehow is infinite now this turn. But we'll need to use his gold, his infinite gold, to find tech. So he found another queen. He has 2 queens, has more poison on the board, has Leroy. So that's what he has to do, and then he has a chance to stay in it.
They're looking for those techs. Does have a manted queen in the shop to potentially.
A Hydra in hand?
Look at
the ability to just fully.
Oh my god!
Puts together another
disgusting,
ginormous
bro.
Hydra. I don't know how you beat this.
I don't think you do.
You don't. Yeah.
Leroy goes into the manted, as does the other, and we see the shields come out onto these cleaves, and they will certainly clear up what is left of Sarah's board.
God
Very
damn.
Transition from Penguin Sandy.
So now it's top 2. It's this board against APM. Do we need to see the fights? I mean, even with good tech, you cannot beat those 2 massive cleaves. Like, they already just destroy everything, right? And there's also, like, 3 manted queens. Or, like, a golden manted queen, normal 1, Baron, golden selfless, Taunton Leroy. Hey, there's another golden selfless in the shop if you want, because you have Beloved Lamps. And you're placing Vol'jin, so you could still transition stats, like, if you don't need to keep any of this. Yeah, he played this well though. He played APM, but not for very long. He went out of his APM rather quickly and commit onto a strong board and used the stats that he built on a couple big pirates to just build big cleaves. I really respect this. He didn't just stick with pirates for long. He just built a couple of stats onto like a couple big pirates, quickly went into a much better board with his Beloved Lamps. And I think Penguin Sun is playing really well. He's playing very cleanly. And I like the way he approached this, because I think too many people would have been tunnel visioned, maybe even myself, into sticking into the stats a lot longer. Duke Murkai, not queen? What do you mean?
Just a potential tech out.
I see
at this point, you
queens on this board, right? And on the other board as well.
And it's not a terrible board from Zanyang, but again.
Wait. The cleaves could die into the Leroys. If the Leroy was further back, he could have won, right? Yeah, the Silas actually could have won, because if you look at his board, I'm gonna go back a bit because I think it's really interesting to see. But if these were further back and both cleaves hit the side and die by Leroys, look at his red. I look at the Bristleback Knights. Like, there's also Summons a token. There might have been a chance, but sadly, one of the Leroys had to attack into the stone, so therefore, it's just GG. And also the shields landing on the Hydras does not matter if they die by a Leroy anyway. So them being shielded would also like reduce the value from Selfless. But there we have it, game 3, again won by APM, 3 games in a row, and everyone else was either going scam. This time no Menagerie players. First lobby we had Menagerie, but the 2 other lobbies we had more poison than anything. When a World Cup game is on, I mean, I haven't streamed in a bit, so I don't know. But if you look at this one, this is a top 8. It only has like not even 13,000 views for like a 5-hour stream. Like, that's very little, especially if it's a big official tournament with a lot of production, a lot of money involved. And this has been up for multiple days. So it's so sad to see this not being that hyped. To be fair, it does get more views on Twitch, than it does on YouTube. But still, like, people not even looking at this afterwards. But again, the big finals are still supposed to happen. So we will have, like, these are all Lobby Legends throughout the year. I think the next one is going to be the real big final Lobby Legends with all the top players that performed over that period of time. I don't know when that is. I think January? I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to skip ahead. Let's look at the scores real quick. Did I skip over them? I might have. Yes, okay. Here are the scores. So now we see Penguin Sun almost in check. He just needs to, like, not be that last, basically. And whoa, he actually has a big lead now. Penguin Sun is kind of killing it. Yeah, he only needs, like, any placement that's not last or 7th. And then Sarah and Zanyang both need a 1st place to qualify. No one else can qualify yet or can be in check. They both just need a 1st. And then the others are kind of close. Max is still having a rough time. Vigo as well. Zergo got back into it. Just needs 2 games, just like Shexy and IG Sword. So I think, again, it's anyone's game. We'll see how it goes. Well, let's move along and get to game 4.
Holding back, having restraint, but utilizing that tank and then not hero powering it. Instead, saving for Hogger last game.
This was a couple days ago.
Expert play by Penguin Sun, utilizing the Pilfered Lamps, playing into that quest.
Yeah, I also don't understand the advertising. Like, on the launcher, they used to sometimes also put creators on there. I think it's been a while since I put someone on the launcher. But, like, yeah, why is Lobby Legends not advertised anywhere? Like, even, I don't know if anyone here plays Valorant, but in the Valorant client and in Overwatch as well, Overwatch 2, if you go in the game itself, there's a tournaments tab, and if you click on it, you can follow the standings, and you can, like, buy skins from the tournament, for example. Like, tournament players have specific skins in the game. Why can we not do that for Battlegrounds? Like, they're putting so much money in this shit already. Like, did you see the promotional event for, okay, this turned into me rambling and ranting stream, but I want to talk about this. But they did a promotional event where this guy's Toast was there, and, like, all the other creators, and they got so much money just to show up and be there. Like, it's like $10,000 for a team, or like $50,000 for the top players. All they had to do was play with the new cards for a bit. For like 2 days, I think. Like, that's so much money. Then why can we even not spend like $1,000 or $2,000 to just, like, I don't know how much it costs to promote something, but probably not that much. I don't know. It seems like a poor allocation of the money. That's what I'd say. Like, tournaments, yeah, I like that they have a big prize pool. It makes the game competitive. It means that creators can actually make a living off this stuff. Even though you can't make a living without prize pools, right? Like, a lot of content creators like myself have never really been in an event like that or got a lot of money from Blizzard directly, still make a living. But it's just that, please, this could be so much more hype and so much more lively if there was just more effort put in. But then again, Hearthstone, yeah, I'm not gonna keep on rambling.
Tavern Tipper,
let's just stick with this.
And grabbed
you see a Tavern Tipper opener here in Panda.
Now looking to buff them up both. Floating at gold here on 4 gold. Up against MarkMcKz Toki. The rest of the lobby that we didn't go over, it looks like Vigo, I believe, if I remember correctly, that
I'm rooting for everyone here. I think all these players are obviously good. Max, you already saw win a Lobby Legends, so he's really good. Although, I mean, he could win a second one. He would be the first to ever do it, I'm pretty sure. Although Penguin Sun has been, like, my favorite player so far. Like, he played a lot of games really well. And he's also top in points, so he deserves it. And Zergo, of course, I have to root for Zergo, my boy. He's in. He's had some rough games, but I'm hoping he wins it. Although, seems like we only have 3 more games to go. Kind of a spoiler, but that's what happens when you don't watch live. What the hell is Discord? What is this? Oh, he's playing Curator. It's a new Curator, buddy. Okay, okay. I was like, wait, is there a new patch that I missed? But hit that like button. Yeah, if you're enjoying the co-stream so far in the commentary, don't forget to leave a like. It'd be very much appreciated.
Or if we see more of the Divine Shield setups and people trying to outstat those mechs here. Speaking of stats, Zorgo with a ton.
Double tipper.
Barov's hero power, Lord Barov hero power, getting a bet in and continuing to tip Bob for those tavern tipper buffs. Did purchase and hold a shell collector. Waiting for the quest selection here.
Right, let's see what's happening here. I don't love any of those conditions, and I don't love those rewards either. Like,
yeah, those are all very difficult and hard. I think it's just Evil Twin, because that just happens. Oh, he went for Snickers next. Because it's again on Murloc lobby, bro. This is 4 Murloc lobbies in a row. This is what I was scared of. Like, this lobby legends is being poisoned Murlocs, but apparently every lobby is won by APM pirates as well. Which normally I'd be hyped about, but I mean, I feel like we're hitting the critical threshold of how much APM you can take before it gets pretty stale. And you just know, oh, big pirates, okay. We wouldn't even know lobby legends existed? Interesting, interesting. So you're telling me that I have a lot of influence over Blizzard. I'll let them know. I'll let them know that I'm carrying lobby legends. Yeah, and then ban, of course, with an insane Battlecry shop. This is so nutty. This is disgusting. He's probably holding all of it, right? Yeah, you're holding all of it, hitting one more Battlecry next turn, and then getting all of the double value. You also see the Zephyrs in this lobby. And Toki, who just goes free and free, gets a bunch of 4 jobs. I want to see Toki's board. At least power level, this is their board. Not bad. But I do want to see Toki's board. And what they hear power into.
Able to get to 3 quite
perfect
early
procrastinate on
here,
work time.
4.
Yeah.
Has 2 3-drops on the board in the form of that Thorn.
I do miss it. I do miss streaming, but every time I stream right now, I'm just not having fun playing Battlegrounds. So I don't want to force myself to play something I do not enjoy playing. So that's I'm hoping things change soon and we get a patch or something. But I might also start just streaming maybe on the second channel. Who knows?
oh, okay.
Toki, what the hell is this? Toki is just picking Murlocs from lower tiers. You power level, you hear power, you hit 4 jobs, but the 4 jobs don't matter when you have Murlocs in your shop because you know that in the end it doesn't matter. God damn. Stream some indie games, that's the plan. I've been learning to speedrun some games and I'm doing like mini documentaries and cool challenges, so that's what I want to work towards, but again, easier said than done.
So max 7 key on the way. We'll quick get confirmation on what the rest of the quests are, because it's such a pivotal.
Yeah, they got Brand. They're keeping in hand. They have so many pairs.
Clear content.
2 pairs. They normally on 7 gold you double level. You normally double level, but in this case it seems like he decided to just take it a little bit slower. I would use my gems already as well into Brand to minimize damage here because you're facing someone who power leveled. But he's holding. I wonder if he's going to take a 4 or a 5. I'd guess a 5, maybe a 6. Because if you take a 5, that might be why he's holding gems. If he hits Agam, you can go Agam and Menagerie. I guess that's a good reason, yeah. The short hike video, thank you. It was fun to play as well. It was fun. That doesn't take it that hard. Kills the free drop here as well. And is going to get quest done soon. Hog. Where you remove a mechanic from your options. I mean, probably not, because I've done things like that in the past and it always did horrible. Every time I tried something fun in Battlegrounds, like you can only pick the left and rightmost card, or you power level to 6, or whenever I try something interesting, it always just performs worse than me try-harding and playing the game properly. So I've just stepped away from doing original things in Battlegrounds or Hearthstone in general, because it's just so much more effort and you don't gain anything, essentially. Anyway, Elise got Tears of Sparcel, really bad quests that I never see anymore because Leapers are kind of dead because you have the new 5 job that counters Leapers. What's it called? The one that gives taunts. But there's not a big gap in the lobby. This person is lowest in health, 27, but also strongest on tempo with a triple. And then the highest in health is just Vigo on 43. So again, the health difference isn't as huge here for turn 6, especially looking at their boards and their potential. That's not that easy. I can't just do what I enjoy and people watch. That's I wish I could just do what I enjoy every day, but I'm pretty sure that would kill my channel and kill everything that I worked for. So content creation, it is an interesting line. I think it's a bit gimmicky and most people watch your content to learn instead. Yeah, most people are here to get better at Battlegrounds, I assume, and to learn a bit about the game or see what the new update brings, right? Get my 2 cents on it. And I've embraced that. I know that's what I'm here for, so that's what this channel is, and that's why I have the second channel where I do other things. Adora got a golden strong shell into Lightfang. Lightfang, not the best way of scaling. Menagerie, you know, we saw every lobby win by APM Pirates and Murlocs. Or just APM Pirates in general, but the top 4s were very often Murlocs. However, this lobby does not have pirates. So, guess what the final comp is gonna be. There's a no pirate lobby. We see some Menagerie already and stuff, but I'm gonna guess that top 3 is all gonna be Murlocs. Maybe one player in top 4 is gonna be Menagerie. Is gonna... That's my guess. I could be completely wrong. We'll see.
No, I do like this.
One coin, the other, and the Discover, but doesn't hit the Agam. It's a Bristleback Knight or a Mech.
Yeah, okay.
As options. Also gems for unlikely to take the Kangors here. Mech roll, not bad at all if you can get that mech set up.
We haven't seen any mechs at all. The only mechs we saw was the cooked book player. We just bought a couple big mechs and that was it. And I guess Zorgo had double mech roll in the first game. But other than that, we've not seen any beasts. Again, this lobby also beasts is banned. Not any dragons. I think dragons was banned most lobby as well. We have not seen... No, we saw one elemental player, but he died very quickly, so that doesn't count. We saw a lot of pirates, a lot of Murlocs, a lot of tribes over there. Quillboar, we have not seen at all either. Demons, we saw like early game demons, but that quickly pivoted as well. Like Firebat got sold after 1 turn. Naga we saw a bit. We saw a couple Naga players that were high rolling, yes. But I'm pretty sad that there's less diversity here. Menagerie we saw a bit as well in the first game. But other than the first game, not really.
Yeah, with that brand making use of the demon interaction actually. Getting a lot of stats on that Picky Eater, the Mind Muck also kicking in. Leroy not going to have great effect.
Actually
here.
committing onto Menagerie, it seems.
I'm sort of be a little bit disappointed that he didn't hit directional 5s, especially with 2 Discovers to be able to hero power. But one more brand would be that Golden Brand. You know, Murloc lobby and pretty easy to transition with Golden Brand because you have so much econ in.
Guess what the Toki is doing? Cookbook starting with Murlocs. Picked up some Max because Max is mainly playable with Cookbook. And that appears to be it. Yeah.
As well from MarkMcKz. Is this something you'd expect that he would transition into like a little bit of mechs as well?
Absolutely. I love this play. We've seen it in the past games that these players understand, okay, if I have a win condition set up, Zorgo with an amazing play to sell his whole board, put down some poisons, is going to have Snicker Snacks available to proc some of these battle cries.
That's pretty cool about like having immunity to zero power. Like you don't have to commit to a board. You build one big dude, you can sell everything else off, guarantee that you make one useful card. Yeah, but like more poison on the board because again he has Snicker Snack. So that's exactly what he's going to be doing. The issue is it's no guarantee to give more poison or more discovers because you're playing double Felfin. So it's gonna be a bit risky, but is taunt? Oh, and the Dogfin is taunt? The hell? Whatever.
7 key. Max 7 key has that cooked book as a win condition ready to be set up, and we'll see in this combat
gets the triple
he's
though.
Gonna be very strong. Of course, this Bristleback Knight will clear stuff, but he's gonna be able to clear most of the damage on Zorgo's board and can focus in these intermediate turns for the next, 2-3 turns while he's focused on
bad trades.
Actually, he's going to be fine. Max 7 key with
Look at the Zergo's face. I think he got scammed. I think leaving a 5 up there is really unlucky. Also, Zergo was pretty strong, but it is what it is. Poison not triggering is a big deal. Zephyr's got a triple Bren. Is still playing Menagerie. So he might be the guy that I said that might be the one-off playing Menagerie here. Huh.
He made to pull himself back into contention to put the lobby in check next game. And a golden Bran for next turn is just such a way to do so.
And it's such a big pickup. Like I said, not hitting that second directional 5 on any of those discovers does level and find the golden Bran. And with that Snicker Snack quest available, Sword is in a position to win this game.
Yeah.
That Picky Eater will be very big in this mid game. And then he can make a very quick transition to Murlocs, Theator, whatever he wants, really, because it just provides so much flexibility.
We haven't seen Bran yet, right? Have we seen what Bran did? We know he had the early triple. Here we go. And he went for a 6. Holy. But again, we see Murlocs on the board with 2 balls. We see Naga. Okay, okay. At this Zaragoza, still skilling that one dude, and then just random filler cards on the board. Theater in hand, Lightfang on board, then just random shit. He's gonna die, I think. And then Vol'jin playing Max. The first real tempo mech player we see, all lobby legends here. Just a classic tier 4 board. Even though he's tier 5 actually. Yeah, facing Golden Brand. Golden Brand, he only has like 1 big unit, then some... Oh, shit. And some useful cards, but...
Reset won't get that additional grease spot scaling.
Murloc with 2 balls. I did imply that, yes.
How do you see...
one health?
Yeah, really poor results there for Sanyang. But how do you see Grease Spot scaling at this point in the game? Because it's the first time we've seen it so far this weekend, I think, in any real capacity. Does it provide the scaling that can win a lobby, as we knew it could do back in its prime?
Not on its own. It can still be a quality unit that you take in the mid game, but you can't rely on it as your only scaling engine. It can be quite a bit better if you do pair it with that mackerel.
Okay, who's gonna win? The cooked book player on the left with Bran Murlocs now. I want to see the end of the turn. They still have 70 seconds. On the right side is a Golden Bran Menagerie with Snicker Snacks. Could keep the jug on board longer. Or I might just play the Mug, right? I mean, Mug or Lightfang is essentially the same thing. No, because Mug is actually going to be more. So I think they end on the Mug, yeah. Mug is always more. Wait, they took a light. Oh, they have the Picky Eater. I forgot about the Picky Eater. Okay, there's no poison on the left yet. And there's a taunted Leroy on the opponent's side, which right now we have the vision that is going to kill the mackerel. So we know that the taunted Leroy is really good. And they have 92 health. And the right side pretty much has nothing at the moment. The stats are very mediocre. So I think they'll beat left side. No one is dead yet, right? So I don't think there's damage cap. But yeah, I'm voting right side. I'm voting Zephyr's. For sure.
All right, well, let's see it. Man, losing this deflector is just so backbreaking at this point, because, I mean, it looks close, but then you just catch one more glimpse of that over 100 health Picky Eater there, which
like, poison
really doesn't feel like a...
Poison would make this so different. Imagine if there's one small poison dude here, it just trades into Picky Eater, and suddenly the Toki is favored. Like, it's a single card that makes Toki favored, pretty much. But now it's kind of close, even though Deflector got completely nuked. If Deflector didn't get nuked, it was also fine. Also, no death yet. We're going into turn 11. 0 deaths. And people are not even below 10 health. Like, there's 5 people below or at the damage cap, but the lowest is 11 health. So they could take another hit. Only 3 people are safe. And actually grindy lobby and actually kind of scuffed. We see people trying to go for the endgame poison, but no getting there, and then like tempo like this, which it doesn't win the lobby because they're still on tier 5 with only like a single Artisan and a single Ogrezoa for scaling. But again, you can pick up tech pieces like the Leroy, like the Selfless, which is what they appears to be doing. They're facing Sarah, who I don't remember what hero power they picked. I hope we'll see it in a second.
Keeping max strength on the board in the form of that Bristleback Knight. There's a Razorfen Geomancer in the shop, which would provide one additional spell for max scaling this turn.
Shields, be it from the glow scale, maybe a Baron to double down on this selfless hero. But Penguin sound happy to just take a decent option as opposed to the risk for a fantastic option.
Yeah, and happy might not be the perfect way to describe it, because you are right. He spent a lot of time thinking about it. He wasn't super comfortable with the decision, but
also keep in mind, Penguin Sun here, the elites that we see, if they go last or 7th, they do not qualify, or they are not in check. They need just the top 6 to be in check, right? That's what they're playing for, top 6. We see this person playing Teotar Lighting though. We see an actual Menagerie player. That was a bad hit. But I think as long as there's no poison, that Myrmidon in the back is just way too big, right? Like that's just an overwhelming amount of stats. So as long as there's no, and it's stealthed, so it cannot get sniped early by a Manta Queen or a Leroy. It's pretty safe until Manta Queens and Leroy died, then very often it goes into play. So he's just relying on one big stealth dude in the back to carry him to the top 6. First person dead is Shuxy. I think he was one of the players that needed a first place in order to be in check. So besides that, I don't know who else needed first to be in check. Was it Sarah? No. Maybe Sarah or Vigo.
Going Sam, because he just needs 1.5 points to put the lobby in check. So if he goes out now in untied 7th, just him, he will not put the lobby in check. But even if he ties going out here, he'll still be able to do it. So it's looking that much more likely that he will
with poison,
be able
of
to
course,
survive through to put the lobby in check.
And it will be Vigo that matches up into him, able to get the Divine Shield and a poison onto that Amalgam, has another ball of minions on the board as well, and it maximizes that decision that he made in the last fight. Playing maximum strength, absolutely.
Yeah, Elise is dead.
Guaranteeing the win, even...
The thing is, Elise is gonna be dead, but like the caster said, if they tie with someone, that means they still are in check. So you just need one other person with them to die, otherwise they're half a point away from qualifying. We see Panda got actually the Reno hero power. Holy shit, Zorgo getting lucky. Even though, I mean, it's a bit late for that, and I don't know if he has a good target to hero power. I think he hero powered the... Okay, Selfless, yeah. Okay, that's really good. So he still has his Knights playing with a bunch of random poison. Classic.
And it's going to be Penguin Sun that we check into this fight here, as he has the potential to put this lobby into check if he can win this combat. And if one of these other players does go down here, it's gonna be a tough one though.
I don't think he wins just because of the poisons.
It's a really tough fight. You just have to hope that while the stealth is still active, they're able to battle against each other, but the Leroy misses.
Got a shield back?
This is potentially a disaster.
Oh, that's terrible.
And this shield, I don't think it can shield the stealth, so it's...
He lives, okay. He lost, but he lives.
He survives.
Lethal. He loses, but is alive.
Zorgo,
however, is not, as he goes down, and that puts Penguin Sun into...
Like, Zorgo, we saw his board is really strong, but it's bad against mechs, who... This is the main mech player in the lobby, it seems. Has the Deflecto, the Mackerel, and some random cards with reasonable size, I would say. Just because of cookbook. Huh.
And from this point on, he knows it makes no difference. It's just about keeping other players out of the danger zone, keeping the players on a high point total away from check themselves.
Yeah, house money here for Penguin Sun is max 7 key. Will look to put him out. Has that cooked book working for him? Has a pretty good shot with a Primal Fin available. Did Toki into an Uther as well as a Manted. Likely we can pick up the Primal Fin as it's free with the Brand and a Murloc on board, as well as the Manted, providing access to that Divine Shield poison.
He's mainly just cycling a lot here, making this one Murloc bigger. But it's tough. Have you seen IG Sword's board? I'm not quite sure who's gonna win this. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close endgame, just because, well, no one is AP Empire, so he's blowing out the lobby. It's gonna be a lot of flips. It's gonna be a lot of who attacks where, who hits which card, who has the blaster, like that kind of stuff. Penguin Sun is already in check, so no matter what happens here, he's gonna be in check, and he just needs the first place next game. So freezing module.
Penguin Sun, this victory doesn't matter too much. For McKz, this is absolutely crucial because he is in stone cold last place right now at 4.5 points. He needs to survive this turn if he's realistically going to have any chance of winning this tournament.
It doesn't matter though, right? Oh, that's good.
Many poisons remaining. The Leroy taking out that final unit. The shield.
Yeah, he always
so
loses.
Penguin Sun is going to.
Yes.
Okay.
He could have survived. There was a way he survived if he trades all the 1/1s and he gets the Mantis Queen. That'd be insane, like a 1% survive or something. But it was possible. We see someone else biting the dust. And it's now in top 3. And we actually see some Max in top 3. Holy! We see Max. What is this? My lucky day? Double Deflecto, double Mackerel, Greasebud, Kangaroo with Mummy. I just had a bunch of resets. Skips the golden card because it doesn't need a 6, I guess. Takes a Murloc. He was fast. He's rolling really fast. I don't know why. And now we see IG Swords board just has a 4 Reaper. Oh yeah, has the really big Picky Eater with Snickersnack, and then just random poisons scattered on the board just because that's what you do. And because of his health, he's been able to keep the Golden Brand around as well. Been able to get more stats on the board. Yeah. 3 microbots, no attack pattern will save him. Did the microbot attack first? Yeah. If he attacks first, yeah. Anyway, he's actually greeting quite a bit. He's playing another... He's playing 2 cards on the board that don't matter. The 4/8 Bran and the 8/5 Murloc. But he has the health to work with. So... And the Picky Eater just is less relevant now. You saw the Picky Eater being so good and carrying him to this point. But now you just see what your opponents are doing. And there's just too many Queens and Leroys to really guarantee that you still get value of it.
Young work.
Let's see this fight.
Nice play as well.
Brand. Adding Wind Cherry to this Manted to just optimize the chances that it does get a Divine Shield.
Oh, again attacks into the Taunt and Leroy.
And only hitting stats and shield. That's perfect outcome. McKz not going to make him susceptible to that cleave. The deflector goes down to the Leroy.
Yeah, so he knew about that already. I don't know. I think this happened last time as well. The Leroy dying into a... or the Taunt dying into... what am I saying? Deflector Taunt into... dying into Taunt and Leroy. That was a hard sentence for some reason. But if you played around that, I mean, he deals a lot of damage here, still wins convincingly. But if you played around that, the macros would just keep re-shielding, because now the microbots are 2 attack in, so the macro die to poison. I don't think it was lethal. I don't think it could have been lethal. Maybe though. He would have just dealt more damage, is what I'm trying to say. Actually close against Ghost here, but is able to stay alive. And now, I don't know who gets Ghost next. But it is going to be Vol'jin against the Zephyrs. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Max is playing with Max as well. But yeah, we see like a mixture of some poison. Ooh, that was really bad. Oh no. Oh, look. Oh, that's so bad. He got the spell from Yogg that shuffles his stats. And now he has a tiny Deflectobot here, a tiny Mackerel, and a massive Kangors and a massive Mummy. He is Vol'jin. He can still remove some of those stats, but it's still so bad because now you spend extra effort. Oh, that sucks. But hey, at least they're Vulgent, right?
This is a little bit unfortunate, but there's a lot of Divine Shields available. He's going to add a poison here. Grab the Divine Shield, cycle it, and then end on this Leroy.
Oh, he needs to swap these next turn. But
Out of
the issue is there might not be a next turn, so you can swap the Kangaroo with the Macro next turn, but yeah, next turn.
For running another taunt to try and distract, provide a distraction for any potential Leroys or Wind Furies on the other side. But this mackerel at 12-15 isn't a ton of value. Oh, and we see MarkMcKz getting led, so trying to play very safe here is Zanyang. Playing around Tunnel Blaster, playing into the Kangors, being able to summon stuff later and maximize those resets. But we see how big that Picky Eater is. We see how big that Wind Fury Cleave is.
Yeah, there was not that much poison on the other side.
This is going to be a tough out for Zanyang.
There's like, I mean, there's one poison Vice Shield on Leroy, so as long as the Picky Eater doesn't connect there, it's a GG. The Cleave will die to the Leroy, plays really well around that. The Kangor is just gonna go into a Leroy, doesn't get a lot of value. It's kind of whatever. But he might not die, right? If Picky Eater is the last thing surviving, or if Picky Eater goes into the poison, oh my god. Yeah, he's dead. Holy. Unless everything gets cleaned up. No, okay. And that is... Wait. Oh, he lives! Bro, this is so scripted. But he lives on 1 health. We keep going.
1 health! Oh my
what an
goodness.
outcome.
Ping Pong was his only outs. I mean, shield onto poison is the main reason he won there. If this Murloc didn't have poison, he didn't win the fights. And selling something else... he might have remembered the matchup. I don't know what he had previously or like who was facing it. Maybe it makes sense to sell a mackerel if you're expecting Leroy, right? Ping Pong never beats Ping Pong. What am I saying, bro? Ping Pong never beats Leroy. If they lead with a Leroy, you are already screwed and your entire game plan went like kaput. So I think just having one taunt instead and not focusing too much on the Ping Pong, but instead playing around that foe that the opponent had, or potential Leroys, and going more into the Divine Shield onto this Poison Murloc and the Deflectos. Well, it seemed to work out for him, so I think it was the correct line. But I don't remember all the boards from my head anymore, or like what he had to play around exactly. He triples Deflecto, plays Tunnel Blaster. What is happening, bro? Gets Queen, which is what he needed here. Okay, against Max. Again, this is probably better against the opponent he's facing. I think Max was playing Cooked Book with Tony with some Max. Tripling Deflecto is pretty weird though. I don't know if I would have done that, but look at how big this is. Holy shit.
That looks dangerous. 2 huge taunted Holy Mackerels, 2 large, unsusceptible to Tunnel Blaster Leroy's, a big cleave of his own, as well as a Deflecto and Manted to match.
Oh, that's a bad first hit. Again, just
oh,
back and forth
man, this is
That's
a good cleave.
Nice middle cleave, but
it's just not enough.
The Deflecto isn't going to be able to clear through both of these Holy Mackerels.
Not quite.
Bro, it's actually surprisingly close because of that cleave. If the cleave from Max here, from the Tokyo, was worse, it would have been a different outcome. But the cleave from the Vulgent was really good, and Tunnel Blaster was good. I think tripling Deflecto, I'm still not a big fan of it, but it gave him the Queen, which didn't do anything this fight, but still. Maybe it was the only line you could take. We're now seeing Max versus IG Sword. This is the first game that's actually exciting to watch. I feel like because it's not just APM Pirates or Poison. People are actually playing Max. And there's Murlocs in this lobby, but all the Murloc players are dead because there's too many shields. Well, this guy, Golden Brand, still has 2 big Murlocs, but he's mainly winning because the Wind Fury Cleave and the big Picky Eater. And the Taunted Leroy, just a good tech. And like the fact that he has 1 health and still has the Bran on board is insane. But I think the main reason he's keeping the Bran is that he needs stats against the Max, right? Like you can, like all of the scam players are dead for a good reason, because you lose to the shields. You need stats instead to beat the mech players in the end. So that's why he's valuing this so highly. I assume he's gonna sell it this round, right? He's gonna go all in here trying to kill Max, even though he's at 15 health, he could survive another round. I think this is the turn where you just gotta say fuck it. Okay, I've milked my brand long enough. I think I can now value trade with deflectables, for example. My picky eater is big enough. I'm just gonna send it. You can only add new cards to counter Murlocs. How? Just change Murlocs. You don't need to create a problem and then try and solve the problem by creating new things. Just solve the problem. Change what initially caused the problem. Don't introduce new cards to try and fix it. It's like, again, putting a band-aid on a broken leg. No, let the leg heal. Make sure that it has a proper way to fix itself. Don't just... Maybe that's not a good analogy here, but...
For Max 7K's grip?
Double
it's looking good right
Leroy
now,
though?
hey.
Oh!
Very good in the first
Fantastic.
one, straight into the mech roll.
Oh! He
The
wins,
second one
right?
takes out the manted. And the cleave...
Yeah, he wins. The picky didn't die.
There's no more resets.
Or the picky can't die,
I say that, but... Yeah, there's no more resets that will go off, so the mech roll goes down.
So that was really well played. Taunting the picky seems weird, but you know your opponent is playing mech, so he's leading with a bunch of deflectables, a bunch of... Well, he has mech rolls as well, and the taunts are usually a bit further back. So trying to get as much value from Picky Eater as possible before it dies eventually to poison. It worked out. Look, the Picky Eater is alive and it's taunted. So I think taunting it was really, really good. He actually got exact lethal as well, which, you know, was risky. He might have not have had lethal. Yeah, that was well played. The only issue I see with taunting the Picky Eater there was the fact that the opponents also had double... was leading with deflectables. I have a taunted Leroy, right? So sorry for going back, but I want to explain. Like, if you taunt Picky Eater as well, it is more likely that your deflectables are gonna not attack into your taunted Leroy. You want your deflectables to die into Leroy, because, I mean, that's a deflecto. You want that dead, right? By having more taunts on the board, those are smaller. But your opponent is also leading with something. You might want your Leroy that's taunted to actually attack in. So there's a lot of like intricacies here and reasons to taunt or not taunt this into position the way that he did. In the end, it all worked out exactly according to plan. He got more value out of Picky Eater, got great value out of the cleave. The positioning worked out beautifully. Yeah, well played. So IG Sword takes this one. And let's take a look at the points real quick. Here they are. I'm going to hide my camera. So Penguin Sun is in check. It was close, but he got there. Zenyang, again, just needs the top 6 to be in check as well. Both Sarah and IG Sword are at 16 points, meaning what they need is, I don't know, 4 points. And Shaxi, Max, Zorgo, and Vigo cannot be in check yet. Or at least like next game, but they just need 2 games and they're very close. Like they're 11.5 and the last player is 9 points. Like it's very close still. Realistically, anyone can still check and still win this, and we'll see how this is gonna evolve. Yeah, let's get started with the next game. I do need to run to the bathroom, but the good thing is that we have some beautiful casters
again here.
That will just do the commentating while I'm gone. So I'm gonna just run real quick to the bathroom. I'll be back in a second.
Sylvanas Windrunner. I'd rule out Sylvanas Windrunner, but any of these other heroes can pick up a first place. It's going to be the Togwaggle instead of the Gale Wing.
Is that a traditionally first place kind of hero, if that's a valid description?
We did see it get a first place yesterday, but it was on the back of Hogger Cooked Book. There aren't pirates or mechs available in this game. There are Murlocs, and it's gonna be a stat Murloc outcome. And so I'm very curious to see how Penguin Sun pilots this Togwaggle with that in mind. We have Max 7K on the Sire Denathrius, a token start, and a quest selection to begin between... Hidden Treasure Vault. It's very interesting this early.
That's gotta be the Treasure Vault, right?
Summon 10 is going to be a bit harder without the beasts, mechs, and pirates available, but there is... Okay.
Oh, wow, he picked the Tasties.
Yeah, he goes for the Tasties. I was going to say there is that Imprisoner in the shop, And you could play that to kind of accelerate that 10 millions on the Hidden Vault. I do really like that quest when you are able to complete it early. But McKz rather going for the randomness of the Yogtastic Tasties.
And you can see why. There was a Elemental plus another demon in the shop already, so he has a huge amount of ability to turbo through that quest.
Yeah, also providing a lot of value, like most quests do, if you are able to complete it early. And Zorgo, able to set up a Elemental, well, I should say Water Droplet pair with the Elemental in hand, matching up into McKz's Sire, will hold both for the moment. And potentially waiting for the quest, but it's 2 turns away.
Speaking of Savjz as well, because we haven't actually seen too much from him, on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you guess Zorg is feeling about having made this pick of Savjz?
I mean, not perfect. It's probably not the best hero in the game right now, but it has a ton of potential, especially, again, with access to that secret Sinstone quest. We didn't see what he had, but when you do take the hero, you do consider that. Just the ability to get that quest, because it's so powerful, makes any of those heroes much better. With him already at 2 out of 3, I'm positive it is not that secret Sinstone quest, so we'll see how he goes through. He will be matching up into Sarah, who was on the Gov. Sword opted to hero power the Water Droplet on turn 1. Has leveled, but now doesn't have the best units available. Does freeze for a very nice shop there. Regardless of what you hit on quest, there's a lot of potential in that shop. Jaxi did go 3-on-3 on the Alexstrasza, another hero that we haven't seen, another hero that does have access to that secret Sinstone. Didn't catch the quest there, but also very interesting. Zorgo also gonna hold again, so really holding the Droplet and the Elemental for 2 turns, just for the opportunity of progressing his quest. As we move into turn 4.
Yeah, getting a look at the quests here. Remember everyone, including myself here at Mining Me.
You mean like once a fight horse, that like once poison is used, it just gets removed from the fights, but you get it back the next fight? I don't know. It's basically Leroy, right? You basically have a worse Leroy then. That's an interesting idea, but you would have to rework how entire Hearthstone works then, so that's never gonna happen. Well, Savjz has a triple here, okay. Savjz is balling, what the hell. But yeah, that's never gonna happen because in standard Hearthstone, you would have to rework how poison works, because that's also a thing, just like as a normal card. So, like functionally things like that, they cannot change. So I also don't know how much I like the solution. Chair stream, best stream. I'll let you guys have more time with Chair in the future. Anyway, so quest turns. What heroes are there? There's, what the fuck? There's a Guff. There is an Alexstrasza. There is a Sneed. What am I watching? Oh, why are people... What, huh? Okay, anyway, besides weird wonky heroes, the person who needs a first place to win Lobby Legends is playing Togwaggle, who we have also not seen yet on Lobby Legends this stream. Togwaggle is in a weird spot. Like, since it's nerfed, it's not as good anymore, but you can still power level with it. He didn't though. Penguin Sun on the Tog decides to stay on tier 2. Ah. But it's again a Murloc lobby, bro! It's a Murloc lobby, right? I think every lobby so far, this is lobby 5, has had Murlocs. And also none of the lobbies had beasts. I think that like 1 lobby had beasts, but 4 out of 5 of them didn't. So we never see people triple into Mountbear early for tempo, and like Mountbear beasts and Croc beasts can maybe put pressure onto the poison Murlocs. Also, no Max put good pressure onto Scam. So a lot of the good tribes that pressure poison and Scam are missing. No pirates, so again no APM either. It's going to be an interesting watch.
Though.
Yeah, he does. And if you're looking to lose or tie combats, this is a board that will do that quite handily, as this is not a high tempo start by any stretch.
I don't know if Poison was good in Standard ever.
Exactly, and because it's only 2, he's going to be able to get that hidden treasure vault very early. And Vigo might be in a spot where he could have a very high finish this game. Again, Bran, Murloc's in, and a lot of gold to work with because he's going to finish this quest very quickly. In fact, I'm regretting my bandwagon pick already.
Random question. Do people in here play Standard Hearthstone as well? Like, I know there's 220 people watching right now. I don't think all of you are in chat, but most of you are here for Battlegrounds, but are there people that also play Standard? And if so, I want to know how many, like what the distribution is. Because I've been thinking about maybe trying out Standard again, but I don't know if I would ever stream it or make videos for it, because I think most people don't care. It's already 3 yeses. Like, I wonder what the percentage is. I can do a poll. Actually, wait.
In Hanzo,
I have power. This is my stream.
Is
I can do polls.
Good quest.
Pretty big
Start
this
April.
early in the game.
Lobby, if he can find this Divine Shield enchantment, force him on the Murlocs early.
Oh, that's spicy.
Very hard to contend with, and he's got it already, which means he's going to have a lot of turns.
There we go.
Build up those Divine Shields.
Yeah,
Is there a poll?
Oh
there
my goodness,
is.
you're right, and your bandwagon pick could be right as well.
I'm liking
So
where it's headed right
poll.
now.
Does get a Divine Shield right away.
That's so sick.
I decided because this is not shit.
So now Penguin Sun has a very clear game plan. Find Murlocs, find Poison, and buff them up out of control. These other players are going to be coming for him.
Yo, Imke, what's up?
Does pick up the Honcho. Will hold, and you can see him just immediately committing that Divine Shield onto the Murloc, knowing it's going to be safe to put it there. Any poison can be played on it later, and getting that 5/5 buff. Just such a strong tempo option here on turn 6. It's not that he just has future potential. He's strong right now. He's going to have health to work with. Zorgo did triple the water droplet into a 5.
Okay, interesting.
For a Murrazond, hits another Tiragosa.
This is also the first lobby I think where we really see dragons. I don't think we've had like any dragons in any of these lobbies. These have been weird, man. But Scabs, Zorgo, interesting board, good quests. Forgot to use the spell. Keg W. Alshaza with double Taragosa, Jesus Christ. And an early Parasol for tempo. So they're probably leveling to 5 next turn. Is they're able to actually win, stay healthy, deal damage.
Taking 10, going down to 23.
That hurts.
Vigo going down to 24. And Penguin Sun is able to even deal with the high tempo
TFT.
board of Sword.
I want to get back into TFT again as well.
Oh, if you can deal with the sword board.
Dude, how is Dog? This is such a weird full-on tempo board as well. But hey, Dog has a good quest. This is the first time we see this quest as well, right? I don't think we've seen anyone with the new quest, but basically what it does is it can give reborns. It can give shields. 2, you guessed it, Manted Queen, Leroy. And again, he needs a first place to just win it all here. But no direction, no scaling. Is it a weird spot? Dude, this board, this is crazy. Sorry for pausing. I'm also gonna rewind in a second. But look at this board and look at the previous board and tell me what the difference is. Tempo-wise, they're pretty much the same, right? This is maybe slightly stronger. Well, let me tell you the difference. This guy has 42 health. This guy has 18 health. I don't know how or why. This dude seems maybe a little bit less strong, although they do have poison. They do have a big trickster. This health is less than half. He's almost at damage cap. And that is purely matchups. Like, that is out of your control. It really depends on who you face, what happens. And maybe how you leveled, how you played it, but still, they're at the same point right now, so.
swung away. That's a ton of stats on this board. And that Theotar's Parasol also going to buff up the health on that Chroma Wing. It's a very strong early stat board.
Yeah, man.
Matching up into Penguin Son, who has just a lot of stats and shields himself.
Dragons coming in clutch. We have like 2 players going hard in on Dragons and a couple others kind of teching into it a little bit along the way. It's very, very interesting to see.
And here's the matchup. This is going to be a close one. A lot of health for Savjz's Dragons.
Oh, wow.
Very desperately wanting to do a lot of damage to Penguin Son early here, but the grades do not look good as both Terragus's go into shields at the start. And the Poncho getting a shield immediately. It's a tough break for Savjz. The Chroma Wing does remain. Shield getting popped off on that Honcho, and it's just barely going to be enough. Unfortunately, it's not a ton of damage with just the Chroma Wing surviving, but 6 in to Penguin Son. He'll take it. Zorgo.
Dude, I love how Pocky hypes up the fights.
Early Caligos, but it's down to.
He commentates it like a soccer match or like or football or like a sports. Like, oh, this happens. Oh, and always giving like a lot of hype to every hit, which is hard to do in a game like Hearthstone because every hit is random and it's like, okay, this goes here, this goes. It's easy to get frustrated or to just like not even care. But turning fights into fun experiences, that's, even though they're completely out of your control, all that is in your control is the plays that you make.
It is relatively better early because it does have that very high health total, and we saw on Savjz's board, you know, the Terragosas having that sort of stat line can do a lot in these early fights, especially if Zork is able to scale it up a little bit. I mean, he has a couple dragons on board, so these battle cries aren't unreasonable. But will it be enough?
Still no quest. Wait, so Zorgo is below damage cap 12, but he has a Caligos and Golden Hammer incoming. Another Caligos. I don't know what is happening, why everyone is playing dragons, what I missed, but everyone is playing dragons. But he gets Golden Hammer here. He can Golden and Calig, play one more Battle Cry, maybe roll and play a second. Oh, he didn't use Golden Hammer. Oh, he's gonna use it for tempo. Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay, I like that. Instead of using it with the one Battle Cry, he's using it for the immediate tempo. Is it even more tempo? I think it is, yeah.
And we'll walk into this fight with McKz, who's also very low, but has a 34-41.
Oh, good breakpoints, wow.
Immediately gets... Oh, that's... Oh, what? Disaster for Zorgo as the Molten Rock eats up all the
okay,
health.
He's fine, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine.
But oh, it's gonna be okay. Corrupted Myrmidon survives.
Kills him.
Unfortunately, while the Corrupted Myrmidon...
Damn, man. Okay, these fights are actually hype. Look at how close this is. And they're both the ones below damage cap. Zorgo killing Max here. Pretty big deal. Penguin Son is still doing well. And he just needs a first to win. So that's it. You hear tempo, but you don't know what it means. Tempo is strength on a board. Like a 5-5 is more tempo than a 3-3. It's just immediate stats on the board, immediate strength. That is tempo. Well, value is less tempo right now, but more tempo in the future, or like more strength in the future. So if you pick a Caligos, it might be worse tempo right now than something that's more stats, but it's more value, and meaning in the late game, it might have provided you more stats, you know. But yeah, he's just using the hammer now on Calig, doing Calig scaling. I'm actually surprised that we have a dragon lobby, dragon players here. I don't think we've seen a single person pick Poison or Murlocs. Could be wrong. We've also not seen a lot of players. We have not seen the Guff yet. We've not seen, I think, the Sneed yet. Galakron, I don't know what he's doing. Brand probably playing Murlocs. We cycled through a lot of the same players. So we've only seen, I guess, the dragon players. I want to see what others are up to.
The realities of
again,
the
we've seen this guy
needing that scaling and the present needing the stats to try and beat Penguin Son's board. And we see Penguin Son picking up another.
Interesting. The poll so far has 86 votes. 64% said no, 36% said yes. So majority does not. Okay, that's kind of what I expected.
A couple other Divine Shields on board that, because of that plus 5/5 buff, just do so much.
And I like what we're seeing from Penguin Son, that he is going for these plays that are immediately quite weak. Like, this is not an ideal minion to put Divine Shield on, but it's got that first
horrible
place in
hits
mind by setting up for the next Toxfin.
Is he dead?
Very, very strong.
No, okay, that's good.
This is a lobby-winning kind of play.
Zorko will be fine, but did lose that Caligos to the poison immediately, and unfortunately, that's a lot of damage taken off the board. Penguin Sun will take 11 here, 5 from the Scabs, 1 from the Pick Eater, and 5 from the Murloc. Zanyang with the Caligos.
Wait, Galakron is also playing dragons. So Alexstrasza is playing dragons, Galakron, Scabs. They all have like Caligos. Double. Huh? The one time the tribe becomes available, I think the devs were watching this tournament. They were watching the entire tournament. They're like, okay, wait, dragons have not been in a single lobby. That's an issue. Everything was won by APM pirates or by scam. What if, you know, we put dragons in the lobby and we're just gonna crank up the dragon button? We're just gonna make sure that everyone hits the Caligos. Brad is also playing with Caligos. And Galakron, bro. Brad is playing with Caligos as well. Yeah, okay, they cranked up the button all the way and they're like, yeah, let's show off dragons, you know? So not every lobby feels the same. Fuck, man. That's why they ranked the fight in Zorgo's favor, because Max was not playing dragons.
Both the Terragosas and the Razorgore.
And this is where things get very interesting, right? Because dragons, as you pointed out, their real hidden strength that keeps them from being complete trash is the...
I guess what this need is doing. Random poisons, but for good measure, has a golden Razorgore, another Razorgore on the board, and a golden Cliff Guardian. I don't know why they chose that as random filler cards. They could choose any other card to fill the board, but it's gonna be dragons, you know. I guess an Ember Drake for a shield. Yeah, this is rigged. This is giga rigged. Oh, the Alexstrasza actually does not have Caligos. Is the only dragon forcing hero in this lobby. Only Dragon Forcing hero does not have Caligos, but they're playing with Targosa promo Drakes, which makes a lot more sense. They're on tier 6 though. It's gonna be about... And Guff is also playing dragons? Wait, Guff also has a Razorgore. Yeah, there's not a single non-dragon player in this lobby, right? 7 dragon players.
I don't understand.
What?
I mean, even Sierra here on the Guff playing dragons.
They're also confused. Okay, I'm not alone. Nice.
Has a pretty solid setup, but will not have a... There is a breakpoint here, actually. This Razorgore survives.
Oh, that was close. That was really, really close.
The Razorgore first, and so will just barely lose to the Bronze Warden of Vigo.
And so, speaking of lots of players going for dragons, how...
The main issue is that, well, some players are super ahead of others, so even though they're all playing dragons, we know who's gonna win and who's not, right? Now it just comes down to Nadina. They all have ways of scaling. Half of the lobby does not. They just have Razorgore, so they're gonna die. And the top half that does have scaling, like Zorgo, like Alexstrasza. It's about who it's Nadina. One of them is tier 6, the other one is not. Okay, so place your bets. Who's gonna win? Left side is the Alexstrasza Shexi, who has 4 Targosas, 2 Promo Drakes, and 2 Nether Drakes. And is just doing that good old scaling. Has a Caligos in hand as well. I feel like every Caligos is already taken out of pool, yet they keep just spawning out of thin air. There's just more Caligis than I expected. Right side is Zorgo, who has some tech, has a Taunted Lyra already, a Poison Murloc, and a White Mane, really respecting his opponents. Is scaling a Murloc, yeah, Golden Calig. Stat-wise, Targosa can trade like... Actually, the Targosa can trade the entire board, but the main issue is that Shexi does not know about the Taunted Leroy. So I think this is actually close. It really depends on where the Targosa goes. If Targosa does not die into Leroy... He's gonna play the Queen, right? Oh, plays Calig? Plays... Oh! Plays on a Poison? Oh, okay. And plays Queen. Fuck, I don't know. I need to make a bet. I'm gonna say Shexi. All of you say Zorgo. I'm gonna say Shexi.
It's gonna be razor thin. Bro, are you changing your pick halfway through?
I did. The poison of the mantis is too strong for me.
No shame. Absolutely.
Wait, Pokey also. Wait, I want to listen to what Pokey said.
Targosa goes on the first hit. It's gonna be razor thin. Bro, you changing your pick?
I got cut out? Oh no, he changed his pick. Okay.
For me.
No shame. Absolutely no shame.
He was like me. He's like me. I was picking Zorgo the entire time as well. So was he, but we switched last second. Okay, I'll let the fight play now. Sorry. I'll let the fight play. Oh, Leroy, no value?
The taunt, it's a disaster. So Zorgo
Chexy!
plays the white lane to try and counter some of this, but it causes the promo Drake to get taunted.
Oh, not even close. He kills him.
The Leroy and Chexy does.
Oh, that's crazy. Zorgo's looking so strong with the Golden Kalak doing so well. Actually, good tech. He was looking really good. He has like the Leroy. Oh, is he dead? Oh, exact lethal. So, okay, Penguin Sun does not get the check. The first place does not win. Zorgo had the respect as well with the extra poison on board, with the Leroy, the taunted Leroy on board, with the white man in the back. But just the Alex played that really well in the end, like selling off a bunch of cards, poisoning one more card, and the Queen. This is nuts. Oh wait, Galakron has 4 Caligis now. Huh? Galakron has 4. Dude, I need to lay down after this. I think I'm gonna... I can't follow anymore. I'm getting a headache. What the fuck? Ooh, Blaster Leroy. Ooh, he's gonna... Oh, I mean, the Leroy gets buffed with promo Drake. Okay.
If he wants to try and get value out of it...
the standings. We'll check after this game. But there's one person check.
Protection?
Except mice.
Sarah has moved away from too many dragons, sort of shifting into a hybrid comp with a couple poison Murlocs on board as well. Vigo with that Nadina and only a single Caligos pales in comparison to a couple of players who have golden Caligos on board. Zorgo had that pseudo golden Caligos with golden hammer. She's actually just getting by with these Charagosas and promo Drakes. Opting not to double buff the golden Taric, and that is a really interesting decision because again, it comes back to a repeated theme that we've seen of not over investing into units, right? The Charagosas for now is enough to clear most units on any board, and so opting to double buff the smaller one, even out the relevant units on board to have a better chance in these combats. Oh, uses the promo Drake to buff up the Leroy. I love it.
Yeah, very nice.
Really great decision there.
That Blaster is so good, wow. Because otherwise you lose to poison, but now he doesn't.
Into a small poison. Now it comes down to the stats, but again, this golden Taric is just huge. The Glyph Guardian remains enough to clear it, but there isn't
elemental scaling, let's go.
And so it will be...
Okay, so Sneed also dead now because he was the more scuffed player. He did have Divine Shield poisons, he was playing well, but yeah, the Blaster, sadly too much. There were maybe some trades in the end that could have gone better. But top 4, we still have not seen a Dragon player with Nadina, keep that in mind. So whoever hits it should win. He missed on it again. Bran was also playing Dragons, right? If I remember correctly. I don't know what his board looked like or how strong he's gonna be. But okay, he just levels. He says, I'm not gonna do anything, screw it. I have my little bit of passive scaling with Promo Targosa and Razorgore. I'm biggest in the lobby. All I need is Nadina to close out. So, Bran had Nadina. Did he? Didn't we see Nadina? I think we saw Nadina on Zorgo's shop before he died. I don't think we saw it on a player yet. I could be wrong. I think we saw it in the shop, but then he died. Alex freeze Nadina 2? Really? With the double Targosa? Okay. Okay.
Respawn with that poison tag, or of course with that death
hey, reborn
Mantic
Queen.
Very difficult to beat boards that feature them.
Am I
only a single
yes, okay, you're right. Nadina doesn't need to have or the Alex has a taunt Nadina. The issue, however, that I do not like with taunted Nadina is people can just play a big dude into Blaster. Like, taunting Nadina means you're susceptible to Blaster. So that's why you, generally speaking, don't taunt Nadina. Because that way you can delay your Nadina if you expect your opponent to be playing a Blaster, because they cannot, or the Blaster might as well just die before Nadina gets picked off, right? So this just is worse against Blaster. Overall, a bit safer, but you do have the Queen that can also get taunted. Yeah.
Likely it's going to be this Razorgore that's the next unit to go, but it's a punish. The Manta doesn't get Divine Shield here.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. That can make a big difference. I mean, just look at all these Divine Shields. This is exactly what you talked about. When Dragons start to take
bad
off,
trades.
then Nadina really makes things go crazy.
Oh, it's awful.
Absolutely. Divine Shield and Sarah's board.
Dude.
Too shabby. Is this going to be enough to put?
This feels like a scam, right? I feel like the Guff just got the worst possible trades. Definitely could have been fine here. But does not die. Doesn't matter. It's still a top 4.
He's alive. He's at 8 health on the Guff. Vigo at 7. Zanyang at 6. Now on tier 6.
Still no Nadina. Bro, all these players can find a million Caligis, but they cannot find a Nadina. Except for, well, of course, the player we just watched. But yeah, again, I think the Alex, for some reason, still on 38 health. Seems like they're just high rolling and they'll probably run away with it. Although, Skalakron, how did this happen?
Certainly a few other players do. Shaxi being one of them with that Nadina. Those Terrix shielded up this time. And now, without that Nadina to be found, we'll just take the battle cries.
Not yet, not yet.
We will?
If you have Nadina but you don't have the stats, you can get outscaled by these Caligos, right? The Caligos scales a lot faster than this. So even if you have Nadina here, you might not be able, like, he might be able to value trade all of the shields anyway. It's basically like you have a pseudo Nadina. And then again, there's Poison in the mix and Leroy's, like, and Tunnel Blasters. Keep in mind, this Nadina is taunted. So like I mentioned, they can hit the Nadina and then Tunnel Blaster can go off. So there's always a lot of things to consider. It's not just black and white. You have Nadina, you win. It does usually, you know, mean your favorite in the 1v1 matchup. But again, size matters, tech matters. But it's the first time that Alex... The thing is, Alex is so healthy so they can play around stuff, right? Like, all of these players need to instantly win or they're dead. So even if they know, okay, Nadina is taunted, next turn I can play around it, there might not be a next turn to play around it. So maybe that's why he taunted Nadina, because he knew, I'm just going to win anyway. It doesn't matter. But small taunts, really good here. Okay, trades are going well. This is what I mean with size matters. Like, he's able to value trade a lot. Okay.
Well,
but still a Poison Divine Shield.
Leroy though, and that is not good. The Caligos
that was close.
Down, and Shaxi's Terra goes to survive and will put out Zanyang. Sarah going down as well, so it comes down to Vigo and Shaxi. Shaxi at 38 health on the Alex Straza. Did Shaxi know this was gonna be a dragon game? Was he like, oh, Alex, dragons here, like, got it. I'll just pick up the Alex. This is easy 38 health win, no problem, no sweat.
Yeah, I also don't understand.
However,
who picks Alex and expects to stay pretty much full health the entire game and face like everyone in the lobby going dragons, and you're not even scaling like damage better than someone with like 4 Caligis, right? This person has 1 Caligos, 1 Razorgore, also taunted Nadina. Both of them have a taunted Nadina. I think the other Alex is better off because they have a better quest. They're also bigger. The other Alex gets to trade multiple times. They have poisons. They have a stealth poison in the back that can then clean up. So size does matter, yes. It's a hard truth, but it's a truth nonetheless. Archimedes is a really good tech. Wow, I like that. Oh, taunting Leroy. Actually, taunting Leroy is nutty. Wait. Oh my god, wait. Taunting Leroy can completely screw this guy up. I don't know what's gonna happen. The issue with taunting Leroy is that your opponent will know next time. So they can just lead with Nadina. Then again, if you lead with Nadina, you run into the issue. Maybe your opponent sold Leroy and plays Blaster. And then you get fucked. So... lots of mind games depending on if Vigo is going to die here or not.
I mean, I have a lot to say about Penguin Sand because that was a weird game for him. I'm not entirely sure it was approached in the best way, but the cards really weren't falling into his lap in the right way. To be fair to him, as we see this battle between
but this had to be delayed.
And Vigo for the potentially...
The Atramedas had to be delayed, but he didn't know, right? Atramedas didn't get the best value, sadly. Oh my god, these hits are still good? And gets the value trade? Okay, it's gonna be a tie. No, okay. Okay. So now the mind games begin. This is what I mean. If the brand wins here, he knows about the Leroy, But then again, there's Blaster that could be played. They both have a Taunt on Nadina, which you can play around. Archamida's gonna be moved back. Size is better for the Alex, but yeah, it's about getting the value, right? The thing is, Brand does scale a lot more because of his quest that gives him more money. Then again, I don't know how relevant it is necessarily. He is still going for a lot of scaling though. He's playing really fast as well. He's just going for stats.
Able to get there just because he also has that Nadina, and that's why it's so difficult for, you know, the balance to be struck on these units. When you have access to Nadina, you have to be very careful about what you add into the game, because even a single Caligos with the right Nadina, very, very good. Oh, and we might see an interesting play here. Shaxi with a couple
this is what I mean.
Units
the mind
in hand
games.
has the Tunnel Blaster available, shields the Nadina without even seeing, you know, what he's going to do at the end. He already has his play in mind. He's going to pick up and cycle this glow scale. A few units in hand, a couple extra gold. Looking at the zap to try and take out a Nadina early or a different tech unit.
Yeah, I mean, what about this white main, right? Does that have much utility?
Yeah, it's holding
here in this
white
fight?
main.
You can try and target and taunt something, but generally it's used to counter combo boards. Not something like this, but I don't know what else you would play. The Tunnel Blaster feels very risky, but he's gonna go for it.
I put Nadina earlier though.
He's
Put
gonna
Nadina earlier.
immediately shield the man to guarantee.
I think Nadina has to be in front of the Taragosas. No? I think so. Blaster is good. He kept the Leroy, so Blaster will get rid of the Leroy unless the Queen dies into it. Oh no, it's gonna trigger wrong. Oh, the Nadina does not pop.
Blaster will take out that Leroy. The Nadina's trade with the shields and the stats favoring Shaxi.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
heavily
yeah.
this is over.
And yep.
Damn, he almost... Like, it didn't work out as he intended. He didn't get the Blaster value anyway, but still just won purely with stats. Okay. GG's. Alexstrasza actually winning a lobby. This is a fun one to watch. A Murloc lobby, but no one was playing Murloc. 7 players were playing Dragons. I don't know what happened, but I think there was an error in the Matrix. The Matrix kind of just crashed on this one. Yo, Mutt, what's up, dude? I'm doing well, man. What about you? But yeah, let's take a look at the standings real quick. This is what's going on at the moment. Leading is Penguin Sun still. Both Zanyang and Sarah are in check now. They're actually really like kind of close, but they made it. IG Sword just needs 1 point, just needs to not be dead last to be in check. Shaxi just needs not last or 7th place. Zorgo cannot check yet. Max cannot check yet either. And Vigo could still check as well if he gets a decent game. But it's between Penguin Sun, Zanya, and Sarah to take it. So let's run into game 6. Oh, thank you, Empty. I appreciate it. Anyone but Zorgo. Penguin has played in a lot of Lobby Legends. He's also a really good player. Max won a previous Lobby Legends. IG Sword has played in a lot of Lobby Legends before, I think. So there's definitely a lot of names I've seen already compete before or win.
Are in this time, so
oh, that's a sick Lich King skin.
Wow. It's going to be very scary for Penguin Sun this time around.
I like it.
Zion, who does have the lobby in check, is on the Zephyrus. Sarah on Hook Tusk. This is a very interesting Hook Tusk game. Pirates are in it.
What is that Zorgo skin? Is that Greybow? I don't know. I like it. It's again a Murloc lobby. We've only had one non-Murloc lobby so far. I think. Wait, did we? I don't even remember. But again, no pirates, so this time no APM pirates. I think I Joshua.
Max 7K is on the Lichby here. Up to 2 already. We saw yesterday Lichby very strong in the hands of IG Sword.
Oh, Lich. Max on Lich, just the insta power level goes to 2. I hope he goes to 4. Just 4 and 3, that'd be nice. It is Greybow. Okay, that's the sick Greybow skin, yeah. I was gonna skip forward a bit to the quest turn, because these early turns are just people, well, mostly leveling normally. The Lich did stay down on 2 though. Did not go 3 on 4 like a lot of people like to power level. The Jandis does have a token opener as well. Alicat opener on Jandis, kind of nutty. To play Beasts, I don't know. I don't think Beast will win the lobby, so... We see another Flurgle though. He's gonna, well, obviously play Murlocs. Not a bad... I don't know if you stay for the shop. You definitely could stay. But... Flurgle doing Flurgle things already has 2 Murlocs on board. Zephyrus has a triple lined up if he wants with hero power already. And the only person who leveled this turn was Max to tier 3 on 5 gold. So 3 on 3, but stayed on tier 2 for a turn. And now we see the quests.
Zanyang, one of those players with the lobby in.
Who is that?
Oh, has 2 more pairs in the shop though.
That's nice.
Oh, play 7 Mixer Beasts. Hopefully.
And Handsematic?
So hidden treasure vault for buy 6 fin. Just he takes it in Handsematic.
Damn.
So in a Murloc lobby, he does take it. But we'll feel a little bit bad about
Snickersnacks is pretty good with Flurgle, but it's 4 turns.
Oh, you really want that Snickersnacks here, right?
Yeah.
If you're going down the Murloc's path.
4 combats is a lot though.
It is.
And those quests, you tend to see players shy away from them because they're not really controllable. We talked about players, trying to control the random aspect. This is something where you'd have to play weak for 4 turns. You'd take a lot of damage by playing unoptimal attack orders. Evolves into a poison battle. These stats along the way.
Okay.
What am I feeling here?
Yeah, that is a good point. I think
Lots of people staying on 1. 3
I'm
people
a
still
little bit behind.
1.
After getting the first one, I haven't got any right, but I'm gonna go with Shaxi. I think the adaptability of the Jandis.
Galakron already took a 5-drop, went for Baby Crush. I see a lot of people just take early Baby Crushes just for the tempo. And I mean, it's gonna keep you alive. It's gonna keep you healthy, get your quest on, and then just chill, right? I like it. Yeah, I didn't take Snickersnacks.
Obviously not much scaling, but a really nice high tempo start here with Baby Crush.
Very early Baby Crush, and
lots of
damage.
damage.
Survive at 1, so doing 8 damage on turn of.
Wait, Reno has quest done already. Reno has Parasol done already. That is insane tempo. Holy shit. So in a single turn, got his quest. He decides to stay here. Is he just gonna roll for his quests? He might, yeah. He's just gonna roll down for his quest. I don't know exactly what it is, but...
Quest? If he's prioritizing it this hard, it's gotta be good. Is he gonna sell for it?
You'd have to imagine he really wants it completed on this turn, right? Whatever it is.
So it looks like he'll get it...
Yeah, you want that.
At the start of your turn. Okay, so... does that complete first? I think it does, but I'm not positive. And I'm not sure if he's positive. He doesn't want to take a chance, though. Wants to make sure that he's getting the free elementals, and elementals are...
Okay, so we just stayed down, roll 10 times, because he's gonna get 2 cards a turn. Obviously, that's pretty good. And that's maybe why I took the Baby Crush with that in mind. He is behind on leveling, though. But your Galakron, I don't think it's gonna be too big of a deal. Zorgo also staying down on tier 2. I don't know what his quest is, what he's going for.
Maybe very powerful mid-game.
Definitely, and has the ability to discover them a little bit easier with that Galakron hero power.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Sarah also with the lobby in check has 2 triples lined up.
2 triples, goddamn.
It's a very good hook tusk lobby, like I said, and Sarah making the most of it. We'll see. I'm thinking it's going to be 5s here. We have those beasts in, we have those Murlocs in, we have those elementals in.
Yeah, this has really got a chance of being a Nomi game, right? Especially with Hook Tusk to go hero power down into every Elemental being a huge boost to your game.
What I like is that no one is just hard forcing Murlocs off the get-go, except for Flurgle, obviously. But Flurgle is also lowest in health. So, like, we have had some interesting lobbies. They actually did end up being, like, more exciting than I expected. Some lobbies were kind of dumb and kind of streamlined, but... we've seen Menagerie, we saw a bunch of dragons, we saw Max as well, and here we see a Hook Tusk with double triple. Got quest done in the same turn.
Getting quests at the same hand.
Nice.
Victim Spectre is nutty here. Oh!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, wow!
There's the Nomi!
Choices. It's
actually goes for Nomi. It was between Bran and Nomi because obviously Bran Murlocs, you know. But Nomi this early again on HysteriA where you can just farm elementals or more triples. Okay, nice, Sarah. Let's go.
I love this play from Sarah. This is again, it's a winner, right? He's one of the players with the lobby in check, and this feels like he might be able to get the job done. Shaxi lining up that triple next turn.
Oh, he tripled into Tavern Tempest. That's so bad. So just did go to Tavern Tempest, which is not really what you want to see. But he's going for the second triple here. You could also get Nomi. And Nomi on Gendis, as we all know, is also good. So let's see.
Both for the board strength and obviously not able to get rid of this tabby cat just yet.
Oh, and the quest, the animation.
What
does that give him? Ghastly Mask.
Ghastly Mask. So a free Rendell gonna be very
that's
nice.
good tempo.
High tempo option. Gonna unfreeze just before the turn runs out.
That's sick.
Nice turn. Grabs another pair. Wow, this is gonna be a crazy game. What? Zorgo has cooked book done already?
Okay. And Zorgo with the instant cooked book, 46 health, he is just gonna roach it up. He's gonna stay down on tier 3 probably, cycle as much as possible, and then just end on some big deflectos. He will lose because this player has insane tempo. It's actually close. We see early Nomi, but we also see early Croc with some momentum. We see early cookbook. And there's a lot of players we haven't seen yet. Like Max is already on tier 5. Vigo is Reno, so Reno could triple into whatever. Okay, double Nomi.
Nomi, here's the hero part. Doesn't hit an elemental. You see how fast
My
he's
God.
going. He knows what's in his hands. Oh, finds the Domo. Does he want to take a Domo right now? That's actually a very tough decision.
I'll
He's
just
also
roll.
looking at the tabs.
Yeah, I think
Pass it and
skipping.
Bro.
be rewarded with a Smogger. Way more stats on the board. Feeling good with that Lil Rag getting.
Double Nomi, Lil Reg, and guess what? He can triple Nomi next turn. If, well, he has Victim Spectre, right? So if Nomi's the last thing to die, he just gets another Nomi. It could also just be another Lil Reg, which I don't think you hate. Reno, triples into Baron.
Oh, I believe.
That sucks.
And we saw how much that extra gold
What is
helps
this?
out.
Right, yeah, last time we saw this, it was an instant lobby winner, I think.
And then, like,
This time,
Lich
though,
Bazial with the Juggler. Like, we see a lot of tempo players, a lot of people missing, and we see a lot of people just running away with it. But I think it's just GG for HysteriA. I think HysteriA just wins. And one thing I don't like is that on turn 6 or turn 7, you can already say, okay, this person won. But guess what? There's poison. So even though you can build the biggest elementals in the world, you can still lose to poison, right? Like, stats don't really matter when you can just have a full techie board. The main thing, though, is that, even though you can, you know, get countered by poison, Elementals has, first of all, Cyclone, which is a win-free Divine Shield, and Wildfire. So your stats are not useless. It's not just a big boy like Battlemaster. They actually accomplish something. Like, the Wildfire is big stats, but it can kill multiple targets at once. So therefore, it's one card I can trade with, let's say, 3 poisons. Divine Shields are going to matter, of course, and Tech is going to matter. But if you build big stats in any comp, I think for Elementals is the most beneficial because you have the best odds of countering Murlocs in the end. I mean, Nomi always wins. Double Nomi always beats just the cookbook. Oh my god, dude, what is he doing?
Oh, Cyclone! Finds a elemental! Oh my god! Is this it?
this feels like it might be it, Poggy.
I can't put... That is one of the most insane shops I've ever seen. He's got 2020 Cyclones on the board on turn 8. Double Nomi, Smogger to boot. He's gonna triple the Nomi because none of these elementals are gonna die.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Sells out of the Lil Reg just to keep high quality.
Yeah, sometimes you just roll the nuts, and once you got the nuts, you're just balling. This Flurgle is just hard forcing Murlocs, but it's just not looking good. He's facing Zephyrs though. We haven't seen Zephyrs. Janus is trying to force elementals, but like in a very scuffed way with Dazzlings. He does not know what he's up against. As soon Janus is facing HysteriA. As soon as this Janus is facing HysteriA, I want to see his face. I hope we stay on this camera and we get to see his face when he faces HysteriA. Zorgo is forcing frogs. I mean, forcing frogs. He just has 2 frogs on the board. But he's playing with Cooked Book, and this can never... Nothing can beat it, basically. People just... the only person I think could beat him is Max on the Lich, because he's tier 6. So if Lich Bazial suddenly swoops in with like double Leroy, double Manted Queen, some good tech. This player is on 15 health. So, oh, please switch camera. I want to see his face. You just need like one lucky fight against someone he doesn't expect that actually has like proper counter stuff when he gets too greedy, and that's a way that, you know, maybe he could die, but again, it's like very hopeful.
I can't remember, but it's got to be a good shot of being right.
Yeah. Would definitely prefer the Nomi over the Crackling Cyclone, as the Crackling Cyclone triple would lose some stats, but it is Nomi. And that's a huge break for Sarah, who even finds a blue shell should that loss.
Oh,
There's a
that's so good.
Oh, 25-24. The board says straight up Elemental.
Get out of here.
Elemental.
You hear about this Elemental again because you want more Sullys. Oh my god!
What? Oh my god! It's a Nomi game.
This is scripted. This is stupid.
The chef is in the house and he's cooking up a storm. A storm of elementals.
How?
Wow. And he just freezes. He doesn't want to waste anything. He's so strong here. This is turn 9.
You could also get another Nomi next turn. Like if the Nomi dies last tier, he gets it back, and then the elementals that he's freezing now, instead of going in now, are gonna be even more stats. Flurgle is actually putting poison on the board though. We see Toxin in the shop. So perhaps there is hope for... Who's this? Penguin Son? He's also in check for Penguin Son. We haven't seen... Have we seen Zephyrus Zanyang? I don't remember. But those are the 3 people in check, so...
Almost infinite in terms of the stats he's gaining. He's
going to get Whiskey Fox.
Vigo, I believe, we saw him up against, who right now, I want to say, doesn't quite feel like he's there. He's got a kind of almost Leapers composition, which again can be enough to beat Elementals.
Well, Zephyrus has a good quest.
Right.
So Zephyrus is playing Omega Tempo Beast, Mounbear, Golden Croc, Double Coiler, Golden High Main, facing the other Elemental player. Ooh, that was bad. Oh, it's a Leroy!
Oh, a Leroy spawn?
Oh, that's bad.
He's within 1 hit, but snipes the
oh, these hits, man.
And the Leroy goes into the Genie.
Oh, these
Shaxx is fine.
What a scam.
Go here and,
what a scam.
Yeah, lucky.
Especially since if Zephyrus lives much longer, he has reborn Manta Queens and Leroys. Again, like there's ways to beat the Elementals. It's not just GG because of the way that the game is like working right now. It's just that no one, like everyone who has an edge seems to be just getting destroyed right now. I'm making strange noises. What strange noises? Yeah, no one is dead yet. Damage cap still in place. Hooktisk is on 5 health. See, Hooktisk lost the fight.
Chance here. Oh,
Hooktisk lost the fight.
There we go.
And got Reborn Leroy.
But
it's up against Galacron.
Mama Bear goes Croc just a little bit stronger.
Yeah, see, Hooktisk is not invincible. Yes, Hooktisk just took 10 damage. He could have died here. Like I said, if he faces someone he's not expecting and gets greedy, which he kind of did, he can just get booted out still. Yeah.
Is this a winning play? Does this win the lobby for me, or is this just playing to survive?
Wait,
it's not over. I never thought it was over.
He lost again.
You know what his last matchup was?
It was against. I'm pretty sure it was against Vigo, right? Who had
on the Reno
Leapers? I mean, maybe not. I must be mistaken. That looks so small. He does.
Oh yeah, the Reno had a Baron, right? Reno tripled into Baron. He was kind of sad. But if he goes to Leapers, Leapers beats this without the tech. Yeah. He lost against Leapers, bro. We forgot about the most toxic comp of all.
Oh.
Yeah, he must have golden
the
Baron Rivendell last turn.
Thank you so much for the resub for 2 months, man. Welcome back. Hope you, well, keep enjoying the emotes and the content, even though it's been, I've not been enjoying Battlegrounds lately. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. But yeah, he has Parasol, Golden Baron, and he just leaped and he beat the Elementals. So there needs to be one more scam against him and he's dead. Like, that's what I'm saying. Never just say someone wins on turn 6 or 7, because things like that happen. It's Lobby Legends.
And with the summons, just also some like sewer rats all of a sudden summon 3 and they look like rat packs, but they all have taunt and you can't get through them. And the stats just build and build and build. And oh, wait a second, Sarah also this double damage on the taunt, playing down 6, but the golden cyclone.
Ah, bad cleave.
And the cleave misses.
Yeah,
it goes to the corner, and that's a disaster. Dude,
Lich was actually really big. Like, Lich's yell here was pretty big. Had good tech. Hit sadly went pretty poorly. I think there was a chance, but yeah, stuff happens. Baron died. Oh no, he barely got leaper value. I think he still might beat Zorgo though.
With that Baron going down, the stats just
a
little bit too small now.
Huh?
So Zorgo maintains that 41 health total.
Galakron dead.
Oh, and
that's
Sword
good.
Goes down.
Zephyrus surviving. Zephyrus has a chance to beat the Genesis as well. It's actually oh no, Zorgo's still won with 1 health. Pretty close, but the Zephyrus living can still beat Hooktusk as well, because again, they have Reborn and Divine Shields that is good for the end game there. Okay, so place your bets. Who's gonna win? The Flurgle, who's going full poison, actually got really big and found a Bren. Surprisingly enough, I didn't really think Flurgle was gonna pull through, but he did. Or the Zephyrus with Reborn Leroy double coiler, which is trying to scam. Place your bets. Who's gonna win? People on gold win? Yes. All 3 of those are in check. Khadgar Leroy? Yeah, Khadgar Leroy. The issue is that he has a lot of board summons. Like, he has the high main, the coiler, so very often it's not gonna work out. But if he has Khadgar Leroy's, I'm telling you. I'm not sure who's gonna win this actually. I think the left side has too many stats. Right side has some scam. Oh, actually it's close. It depends. Like, he has 1 really big Murloc, right? If that 1 big Murloc dies into a Leroy, Zanyang wins. Otherwise, I think Penguin Sun wins. I have 20 more seconds to think about it. Scam wins. Who's the scam? They're both scam, Laser Lord. 7 Leroys, well, from the coilers. I'm gonna say Penguin Sun. Most people are saying right side. I'm gonna say left. Okay, I'm the underdog here. I'm gonna say Murloc.
You're correct. You usually are.
I mean, it's really gonna come down. I mean, I'm mostly hoping that one of these coilers can summon something good, but it's no sure thing.
They're also both in check.
Penguin Sun even leading with a small elemental as a bumper.
Doesn't get the value as expected.
Fantastic hit. That's
or a disaster for Zanyang, depending on how you look at it.
And Zanyang might be out here. The Leroy is gone. 1 poison down, but a lot of stats remain, and that is not it.
Told you guys.
There's summons with that golden card.
He has a taunt that also summons things, so the taunt would just summon more. He doesn't want to clog the board. But yeah, like I said, the stats of the Murlocs I think are just a little bit too big. I didn't jinx it, no. So it was close, but I was right, chat. I knew it. I've seen too many of these fights play out. I know how it goes. It's not likely that he gets reborn value with Khadgar anyway, but he kind of had to bank on it. I hate tricks. But yeah, this is the Golden Nomi player now facing the Murlocs. He does already have, well, 3 big Divine Shield cards now, or 2 big Divine Shields because he tripled. A Wildfire, which can be useful if it actually gets to overkill. And he plays with Leroy, just to be safe. He has a white main that he could end on here. That's actually interesting. Ball is cheating, man. Ball is cheating. Don't do it. This is stupid. A big Nomi doesn't want Blaster. Why not? Oh, because the Leapers died! Vigo died! Oh, that's sad. We needed a Vigo. Vigo was able to maybe kill this guy. But yeah, Vigo dead, so that's why he went out of the Blaster. He was collecting Blasters just to beat them in the future. That's so smart.
Value from Victim's Factory, aside from just getting maybe an extra elemental to cycle through and utilizing that gold.
And now we get to see a real test.
Wow.
A real test for Sarah.
Showing exactly how powerful Flurgle can be.
If you look at like the Wildfire, that like 60 to 70 attack, it actually only like it dies in 3 out of or 4 Murlocs on this board, so it actually doesn't get value against a lot of them. He does have shields, but if the Flurgle ends on Blaster, I think he always lives, right? He's on 25. I think if it just ends on Blaster, he's gonna be fine. Don't play the Lookout now. You don't have time. Don't do it. Play the Blaster. Okay. Okay.
Only the Tunnel Blaster. Not wanting to commit fully.
100%. Don't say 100. We had people in chat here say 100% before, and it didn't happen. People who say 100% have clearly not watched Battlegrounds.
So Leroy is first. That Cyclone now likely to run into a Poisoner. Rather, the Poison runs into it. And Penguin Son.
No, he won.
It's too much. He can't win now. He's dead.
He can't core everything.
Everyone here in chat said that the Elementals won on turn 6 and 7. Also me, but I knew that like it's not hard to beat if you have the proper tech and the proper tools. Someone died to Ghost as well. Zorgo actually taking 24 damage here, even though he's playing Cookbook against the Jandas. Janda's actually a better Elemental board than the Hooktusk. So both. Wait, if Penguin Sun wins, he wins Lobby Legends, right? I think, yeah, Zephyr's died to Ghosts. Died to Leapers. Oh no. Zanyang was also in check, but I think he lost to Leapers. Kek W.
Penguin Sun's board. Chaxi, the last hope for this lobby.
Oh god.
Yeah, what's he got? He does have some pretty nice elementals, I will say, even though elementals often feel
people
pretty
who say
weak,
100% are never right.
It's
it's happened like multiple times today. We have not been able to predict anything today. That's just something to keep in mind at Battlegrounds. There's always ways to beat opponents, or most of the time. When someone has infinite APM, you don't win. We also saw that. We saw 3 lobbies in a row. APM Pirates just take it away, and no one could really counter it. Right? It's just impossible. Because these players are too good. But anything else you can counter. I'm actually surprised that Flurgle still got back in the game, because he was looking very poor at first. And if he wins, it's actually a little bit sad, right? Because all these players were like high rolling all these crazy boards. Flurgle was doing pretty mediocre stuff on tier 4. And now seeing him just run away with it. This is a good tech board though. 2 big dudes that trade, big Divine Shield, poison Divine Shields. Against the poison board with no tech. He's gonna play a Void Lord, I guess, which is something, but it's not quite as good as the opponent has. So I think Janus might win this one.
Conditions with this Void Lord, a perfect tech to end
on.
And Shaxi's only at 6 health. He has no more time. He has to win this combat. I don't know how he does it.
It's all or nothing. Of every other
I mean, maybe small ones, not that I can recall.
Shoulders here. But as you said, this looks
oh, the Void Lord kills the poison here, though.
Gets a shield, but the Void Lord will eat up the Primal Fin. The poisons remain. The Cyclone will.
Yeah, no, Janus wins this, right? Yeah. Oh no, wait, because the shield.
The Void Lord summon. It's.
Oh, I thought Janus would still have this. Oh, it's 9 health off, but the Void Lord was actually so clutch. It killed the poison, got rid of shields. Damn. And exact lethal as well. So Penguin Sun he played incredibly well. He deserves it. He played super consistent, took really cool lines. Even when playing APM, he was very thoughtful. He stopped his APM very early to be able to, you know, build big Hydras with, I think, Vol'jin, and then just tech to make sure that he won. Yeah, that was well played. A lot of people thought the Elementals were gonna win. Lots of crazy shit happening, but I want to see if there's an interview. Interviews are pretty sick. Seems like there is not though, however, sadly. But yeah, that was the game. I'm gonna show the standings real quick. I'm gonna call it a day. Oh fuck, I went too far. Here are the standings, and then quickly takeaways from the tournament about the meta. But 30 points. He was also a point leader. Penguin Sun, most consistent, really good performance, was nutty. Zanyang really close. Shaxi, also all of these players are in check. IG Sword half a point away from being checked. Then Vigo, Zorgo, Max. But basically what this, like, I haven't played Battlegrounds too much recently. What I basically took away from this tournament, looking at these games, is that First of all, Murlocs. If there's Murlocs, you very often see people just going towards poison. Although, not every lobby was won by poison. In the first 3 lobbies were won by APN Pirates. So APN Pirates still unbeatable. Lots of poison. We saw Menagerie though. We saw Max. There was a lobby that was won by Max, I think. And the endgame was Max. Which is pretty cool. But like a lot of tribes don't see play. A lot of tribes are not very impactful. We did see a full dragon lobby. I don't know what happened there, but we had 7 players just switch into dragons. I think someone held a gun to their head and were like, force dragons, or otherwise, you know, this is going to be your last day on Earth. Who knows? Just speculation. But yeah, it was still fun to watch. Less exciting than previous ones, I think, but also maybe because it's not live. But this was the last one of the year. I think now we have next up like the big Lobby Legends tournament with all of the best performers over the entire year. I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that. I'll give updates in Discord or on Twitter. But I hope you enjoyed it. I haven't streamed in a while, but if things change, if we get a patch, maybe I'll get excited again. But meanwhile, again, I'm working on stuff on the second channel. If you haven't checked it out and you're into different higher quality kind of content that I'm actually proud to create, go check it out. But thank you for watching. Hope you did enjoy my little bit of a breakdown. I'm gonna play the outro song because that is required here. And I appreciate all of you still taking the time to tune in. Hope you have a good day. Hope you learned a thing or two as well. And I will see you sometime this week. I promise I'll stream again this week. I don't know when yet, but I'll try to be here. Have a good one. Bye-bye.